right, we'll get it out of the way. The table wasn't round. It was rectangular. Ooh. All right. Whatever. You can Nunez said that we're going to have a round table, but it was a rectangular table. I don't know.
Someone file a request.
Better file a request to see what kind of round table they had. He did say that it would get as big as needed be for the people who were going to be there. The athletic director at the University of New Mexico held a media roundtable. I like the concept. I like what he does. He sits down and whichever members of the media feel they've got the time, makes their schedule. They want to get out there. They're interested. Get out there, and he's pretty open and ask him questions. And I think he does as good a job as he can in answering. I don't recall this is in 23 and a half years I've been here. And there's only been 3 athletic directors. I don't recall any athletic directors doing anything like this. I think it's a good idea that he does something like this periodically, and we'll get into what he had to say a little bit. Happy Friday. You've made it to Friday once again. It is your opening. Was this a short week? Was this a President's Day week? Man, it feels like it was a long week. Doesn't it not?
It feels like a regular week.
Does it feel like a regular long-ass week? Well, we're here for you. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com, on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, or statewide on Comcast Channel 26. What's good?
Oh, what it do?
It do a lot. What you got? What'd you look at last night?
Ooh,
a lot of hoops?
A lot of hoops last night.
A lot of hoops.
NBA back in action.
Yep.
Trae Young dropping 50. Joel Embiid without Ben Simmons looked fantastic.
He's the best player in the world.
And the 76ers comeback win over the Brooklyn Nets. A lot going on in the Pac-12. But Walton on one, as always. Arizona State, Oregon. Little Frank Caliendo doing his Bill Walton with Bill Walton.
Oh, really? How did I miss that?
How did you miss that?
Damn it.
Fun night.
See... And I'll watch anything with Walton on it. I'll watch. He's the only guy that'll get me to watch a game I don't care about. Is there another announcer that you'll go? I just got to listen to the announcer.
Not many.
There's none for me.
That's a very short list.
There's none. And by the way, there's none that I won't watch a game if they're calling the game. So that's the converse side of that. But yeah, I'll watch anything that Walton's doing. All right, there was good hoops. Arizona State beats Oregon in the Pac-12 last night. UCLA wins again. Colorado wins again. And so you got a pretty interesting Pac-12 run with a bunch of teams now that are sitting at the top thinking that they can win. And one of them is UCLA, who's now won, 8 out of 10 and has turned that thing around completely and wasn't even in the conversation for the NCAA tournament. And now, as you look at them at 9-5, they're just a game behind Colorado, who's 10-4. Arizona's 9-4. Arizona State's 9-4, and then Oregon and UCLA are 9-5. So you've got 5 teams within a game of the top spot in the Pac-12. And SC's that was a big game for USC yesterday, losing a tight one in Boulder to Colorado, and SC's right there. So there's good Pac-12 action. Man, it bums me out that that tournament's the week after. Like that's one of
it'd be really good. It's a whole bunch of teams fighting for the regular season title, but then trying to get their way into the bracket. The basketball's been good all over the place because that's as even as you're going to get. Pac-12 and Big Ten right now with the depth of teams trying to get there. Now there's probably some more questions just how good some of those Pac-12 teams are, like a USC or even UCLA at this point, even with their win streak. Who do you trust who can really represent that conference? Because Oregon initially, but even with Peyton Pritchard, do they have enough on their team? But it's a lot of fun, and you saw last night, Arizona State's a team that all of a sudden is trying to make some noise to get in the bracket down the stretch, as we saw with North Carolina State at the end of the night, and we're here on the cusp.
Yep,
March right around the corner.
Yep, no, it's next. It's the week after next week, and here it comes. When you ask who do I trust, I'm not sure I trust anybody. I like Colorado, and I said the other day, I think Oregon would be the team if you're going to ask me, just because I like their athleticism and they've got Peyton Pritchard, and boy, he can make things happen. Now, a silly 5th foul yesterday for him. Do you see the foul he fouled out on late in the Arizona State game yesterday? A reach from behind at midcourt. I'm like, what do you, of all players you expect to do that, that wouldn't be the guy. But that they're really good. All right, 505-246-0610. That's the number to get in today, 888-922-3776. 0610. Your emails will come in. Jeff at 610knml.com. JJ at 610knml.com. You can find us on the Twitter. It's _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. We're going to get into the NFL. We're starting to learn more and more. So the owners have accepted the terms of this proposed new CBA. 17 regular season games, an extra playoff game, one bye team. Did you know in the last 7 Super Bowls, the 14 participants in the last 7 Super Bowls have come out off of the bye? That means nobody has come out of that first weekend. That's how important the bye has become in the National Football League playoffs. And they're going to limit that now to 1. And I got it, and we had the conversation yesterday, and I know we'll get more into it. Did I need to see it last year? I mean, as much as, my team is the Rams would have gotten in. They were 9-7. The Steelers were, 8-8, 9-7. Those are the 2 teams that would have gotten in. Does that make my product better in January? And my answer to you is no. Now, I'm as a football fan, I love the extra week. It's an extra week of fantasy football. It's an extra week of betting for people who bet. But I don't know that it makes the product better. I understand it's going to generate, as Jerry Jones said, close to $5 billion extra dollars, right?
Yes.
There's that $5 billion extra for the players. And 5% was the players' piece. I mean, it's insanity how much money they anticipate 1 week more will generate. I just, as a consumer, I don't know that it makes that product that much better for me. Jim Rome said it yesterday, and I think he's right. This isn't fixing what's broke. It's breaking what's working. Do you feel that way?
It's one where the change will work, but I wasn't clamoring for a change. Now, because we're not talking about Thursday night football per se or short weeks. It's week 17. You expect it to be just as entertaining. Now the thing is, with that extra wild card team, do we get just some longer drama?
Probably.
Like we've seen with Major League Baseball. So does that, even though it's a team that we're not sitting there going, wow, I can't wait to see the 8-8 whatevers in the postseason, you're going to get some extended drama late into the season with that final wild card spot. And then also teams that are competing for the top overall seed, knowing that only one team gets a bye.
I think inherently it makes the back end of the season more important for more teams, right? Less teams. If there's more spots that you're competing for, there's more teams.
And
who
it's
are
a product
for
that
it.
didn't necessarily need it.
Yeah.
Because you're still watching at the end anyway, because that is the king when it comes to fantasy sports and betting. You know, the NFL is what most people do.
Yeah, fantasy sports tend to be over, well, not the daily. Your league fantasy sports tend to be over by weeks, the last week of the season anyway. And so your answer is yes, it will be more intriguing for more teams, right? So more fan bases will be engaged. More mediocre fan bases will be engaged for that opportunity to get into the playoffs and play a 2 seed. I don't know. I'm a fan of rewarding those top 2 teams. Now you reward the one team with a bye. I think it's an incredible advantage for the one team. Don't you?
I do.
And the answer would be they earned it.
Mm-hmm. And it's, as you said, you know, sometimes the numbers haven't really played out that it's always teams on bye.
Well, the last 7 years, all 14 teams in the Super Bowl.
It has mattered.
Yeah.
And so to have even the 2 seed play that extra game, that's a lot of work to
It's a lot
get
of
to the
work.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I guess not everybody's going to get paid in the scale. There's 25% of the players who aren't going to be making extra money, not getting that full extra check. So the players still have to get through it. But you've heard it. I don't know how much you've looked at it, but really interested in how do you feel? Is more better? Y'all love football. We love the NFL, man. We're sitting around watching the XFL. We love extra week of regular season football, an extra team in the playoffs from each conference. That's 2 extra teams. Rams and Steelers would have been in. First round games this year, you would have got to see, instead of the Packers getting a bye, it would have been the Rams at the Packers. It's interesting, I guess. I guess you'd have given the Rams a shot with their defense. Steelers would have been at Kansas City with Duck Hodges. That would have been your first game. And the Chiefs, who went through and got to the Super Bowl, would have had to play another game. Would that have made your postseason better? Is that something would you feel more whole if you got to see the Rams and the Packers this year and the Steelers and the Chiefs? Or do you feel better that the Packers got that bye and the Chiefs got a bye and got to the Super Bowl? It's
This is money.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of it too.
All about money. It's not about improving your product. You can dangle that and say, hey, one more team gets to the postseason. Okay, ultimately, this is about making sure you have the same amount of games that you can sell in the package, which is 20 overall. You take away a preseason game, you add that regular season game. To me, this isn't about anything to do with making the game of football better for the fans. It's all about more money.
I think fans overall, I mean, we were in favor. 17's a weird number too, because to your point, the competitive disadvantage of having 9 games on the road as opposed to 9 games at home is something that they're going to have to work their way through and figure out.
I'm surprised no one's talking about.
Yeah, I haven't really heard that about it
at all. How are they going to handle that? And you're just going to be cool with an every other year format of.
But as long as they keep each division, right? Because there's 4 teams in each division, isn't that right? There's no 5-team divisions. As long as you keep, every team in your division plays 9 at home, 9, or 9 on the road, and I guess that's fair. But you're going to be up for a wild card against a team if you're in the NFC West, against a team from the NFC South. You've played 8 at home, 9 on the road. They played 9 at home, 8 on the road. There's a competitive advantage for that team in the NFC South. That's an absolute competitive advantage, and I don't know what they're going to do about that. But want to hear your thoughts out. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I'm holding out a little bit because I felt this way when Major League Baseball expanded their wild card format, and it has proven to be very, very healthy for their game. And so while I look, but baseball was in a different place and needed that. I don't think football's in that place where they need it, and I'm not certain it's going to work out as well. But I didn't think baseballs would work out as well either, and it did. And I think the majority of us were wrong there. 505-246-0610. Want your thoughts on that when we get back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
He used to coach for Del Norte. And
here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the. Behind the back of the dribble. Trying to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotnet sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands.
All right, all of a sudden the talk is back out about Rob Manfred stripping the Astros of the World Series title. We'll get into that. Big Poppy's talking. See what Big Poppy had to say? It's the opening drive, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah produces for you on the radio side. Josh is producing for you on the visual medium that is ProView Networks. They're coming into busy time. JJ Buck's doing games regularly now. I might even do one. I've been asked to do one. I know. Well, and it would be an Adam Deal game because he's such a big deal that he's got bigger stuff to do than the high school state basketball tournament, and so I might get I was asked to do that. Am I stepping on toes?
No.
Okay.
Big time year, a lot of fun with these tournaments right around the corner. Districts and district tournaments and New Mexico State tournaments and seeding that doesn't make any sense because in MMA, and here you go.
We'll get it all for you, too. Watch it on the ProView. It's there. And we'll have high school basketball tournament coverage for you. I'll be here this year for that. That's the one good thing. I won't get to go to the Pac-12 and the WAC, but I'll be here for the high school stuff, which is cool. All right. What do you make out of Big Poppy? David Ortiz spoke yesterday, and he also is mad on the Astros sign-stealing situation, but he feels for Jose Altuve, And he is, quote, mad at Mike Fears. After you make your money and you get your ring, you decide to talk about it? Why didn't you talk about it during the season when it was going on? Why didn't you say, I don't want no part of this? Now you look like a snitch. End quote. This is after last month, Pedro Martinez called Fires a bad teammate for blowing the whistle.
But and that's what I get back to. Are y'all good with that? Is it that
what?
just the way the game is?
Well, they are, obviously.
Like, you're cool with what the Astros are doing, or you just don't like that someone spoke out about it? Because Mike Fiers did wait, and he didn't do it initially because he didn't have like the gap year with the Detroit Tigers. And then once he got to Oakland, their story came out, division rival, going back at the Astros. He didn't want to do it. So Fiers isn't like some superhero in all this. I applaud him for finally speaking out about it, but there were some motives on his side for talking about what the Houston Astros were doing, especially now that he's seeing that organization much more as a pitcher for the Oakland Athletics. But I get the whole teammate keeping in-house mindset, but is that what you all want in the game? Are we going to now have to be like, well, on Tuesdays, it's our cheating advisor coming in and tell us about the new aspects of cheating in sports. Let's talk about the technology, satellite technology now being used. Like, I get the whole we're brothers in the clubhouse. What happens here has to stay here. But that's
until you go to another team.
But that's what you want the game to be.
Well,
like you really.
So where's the line? So because I hear you. If you look at morality and if you look at what you want to teach your kids, and or maybe you don't. I don't know. There's an argument that Mike Fiers did the right. He was part of a cheating scandal, and
I'm talking about just as a competitor.
No, I got it. As a competitor, I don't think this is even just a baseball thing, right? Although baseball has all these unwritten rules, but I think as a competitor, there's a trust in the locker room, right? That in your word brotherhood is right. I think there's a trust amongst teams, whether it's from a high school team, and that's how these hazing things go on, right? These initiation things at high school wrestling teams or football teams, the secrecy of the brotherhood, all the way up to the professional ranks. I don't know that it's right. I don't know that it's wrong. I know it exists, and your point is fair, and it's a really fair question. And we had this conversation over a month ago when it came out. Where are you with Mike Fiers? And so that's the next piece of this story. That's the next tentacle of this story. Because this story is so juicy. Every day somebody's looking for something else. And let's stick a microphone in somebody else's face who just got to camp and he can get pissed off. And let Justin turn. And who are we mad at today? Are we mad at the commissioner? Are we mad at the Astros? Are we mad at the guy who blew the whistle? But we got to be mad at someone, right? That's kind of where the story's gone. Well, and because it's just too juicy and everybody's angry. And at some point, I don't even think people know what the hell they're mad about. You know what I'm saying? But your conversation's fair. Did Mike Fiers do the right thing? Is he a snitch? And he did benefit. He did make his money. He did win a ring. And 2 years later, for whatever reason, and again, I said this a month and a half ago, I really am interested to know why he decided to come out, right? What happened? And why now? Was it just eating at him? Did one of those guys piss him off? Why did he decide to?
Even if he had an angle, he wasn't wrong about anything that he said.
It sounds like he wasn't wrong about anything he said.
But the Major League Baseball came down and said, y'all cheated. The Houston Astros just sat there and tried to apologize for it and said, yeah, we made mistakes. So even if Fiers, like I said, isn't a superhero and the most moral guy ever, like whatever axe he had to grind, he wasn't wrong about it. Yeah. And he has said at times how that title feels tainted to him. And when it's all said and done, at least he's someone that put his name on it.
So that
doesn't happen. We always get stories and sources.
Anonymous sources.
Like he went out there and put his name on it. And so he has to wear that from his teammates and players. And I get that mindset. But mine is also, is that what you want in the game? Like, yeah, you're sitting there calling him a snitch. You know, what a bad teammate of y'all. But is that the kind of, like, as a competitor, you're good with knowing, hey, they might be stealing signs, whatever. I guess we're doing something ourselves, so to counteract it.
So what? I guess. I mean, do you? Because stuff I'm going to imagine going on in locker rooms all the time. You know, do you?
Well,
want a guy-
I'm saying two different things. I'm not talking about do you want that guy as a teammate. I'm talking about David Ortiz saying, well, don't be a snitch.
Yeah.
Well, you cool with the Astros cheating then, because apparently the Red Sox are doing something themselves, so everyone is just skirting behind the
So what do you
scenes
feel about Ortiz?
to counter it. Well, my thing with I'm talking about two different things at once.
Yeah, I know.
I apologize.
But no, it's okay. I'm
because the whole
because it's
fire
complicated,
snitch
because it is
teammate
two
thing,
things at once.
I get it. But then on the other side, if you didn't snitch, are you okay
That they
with
cheated?
what the Astros are doing because you guys are just doing something yourselves to counteract it?
Yeah.
Is that the game you all want to play?
I think that's a fair question, and I don't know the context in which David Ortiz was saying, but Pedro Martinez said the same thing. It looks like he was at spring training with the Red Sox for some reason. Is he in the game?
Like, he wasn't outing you about all the girls you're hanging out with and the other cities you're going to, this or that. This was about the game you guys play for a living.
Well, that's an interesting conversation, because then where is the line? Would it be okay for a guy? Well, I'm friends with his wife, and he's out cheating on his wife, and would it be
'Cause I think there's a sense of that comes back.
That would
to
cross
what
the line.
Everyone is doing in their clubhouse, road trips, etc.
I saw that guy. He's taking the little green pills before the game to get juiced up and get going because he was out late last night. I mean, is that beyond the lines? Your question's real, because if you read beyond what David Ortiz said, he's a snitch. Then what is that he's saying? Is he saying, well, then it's okay that they cheated? That's a fair next point. What is it you're saying? And I think somebody probably should have asked David Ortiz that. So if you feel he's a snitch, are you okay with them cheating? No, that's not what I'm saying. Well,
if no one
can
is
be
snitching,
deducted
then
that.
the cheating is.
Then the cheating.
I know there were rumors that it was going on and players knew about it, but guess what?
Nobody
Major
else
League
came-
baseball. No one
nobody
else did anything.
Well,
until
Major League
this finally
Baseball
came
put out
down.
that memo, right?
They sent out a memo.
Well,
how many memos do you miss in your emails that you don't see?
That memo. Like, what do you want? So how should? When we come back, then because it's a fair question. How many? Then how should they have done this? I mean, they sent a memo to the general managers to address this. How else should they have done it?
Follow up on it. See if it actually has stopped.
Well,
do a little
they
investigating.
They kind of did, and this is what they found after you had a snitch. No, it's a great conversation. Is Mike Fiers a snitch? Where are you on this? I mean, how would you feel? That guy's now in your locker room. You shaking his hand and saying, "Hey, thanks for blowing this up. They're not cheating anymore," or you're like being real careful what you do around Mike Fiers. You want your car to look good? You want to keep it that way? Call On the Spot Auto Detailing. New Mexico is not friendly on your vehicle's paint. Rock chips, gravel, roads, careless drivers make it look not very new, and that's why you've got to call On the Spot Auto Detailing. They'll protect your vehicle's paint. They got regular wax jobs all the way up to ceramic coating, which will last up to 5 years. You got a lot invested in your ride. Make sure you protect it. You don't have to take it anywhere because On the Spot Auto Detailing comes to you. This is the beauty of these guys. They come to your home, to your office, on your schedule, and they'll give it a thorough cleaning, detailing, inside and out. Stains, spills, pet hair, all of it gone. Those big car washes make you wait in line. Hundreds of cars go through them every day. And unless they keep those brushes clean, they might scratch your paint, and they're usually done in about 7 minutes. 7 minutes! How good can that be? Certainly not as good as what On the Spot Auto Detailing is going to do. While you're working, they're out in the parking lot detailing your vehicle, spending an hour or more to get the job done right. Call On the Spot Auto Detailing, 505-259-2859. 505-259-2859, or go to otsdetailing.com.
Good morning, sports animals. Time is 7:29. Let's take another look at that commute to work. So we're still seeing some delays from that accident eastbound 40 at I-25. That one's going to be blocking the right lane. We also have a couple new accidents. We have an accident at Uray and 57th Street with heavy eastbound delays there. And we have an accident southbound Jefferson at the Paseo overpass. Starting to see some delays form in that area as well. And if you do see any other accidents, please give us a call at the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 in Comanche. Mix or match your way at Burger King. With the 2 for $6 deal, you can mix or match the crispy chicken sandwich, spicy crispy chicken sandwich, Whopper, and now the Impossible Whopper. Any way you mix or match it, you get 2 sandwiches for just $6. Only at Burger King. From the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center, I'm Micah Turman with your Sports Animal Traffic.
Fat Tuesday and Mardi Gras are fast approaching, and you don't have to be in New Orleans to throw back more than beads into blooms. If you're going to drink, take a ride on us. Together, we can end DWI. The Sports Animal is partnered with Ron Bell Injury Lawyers, the City of Albuquerque, the Department of Family and Community Services, Bernalillo County Department of Behavioral Services, Sandoval County DWI Prevention, and Uber to help end DWI. So put on your best purple, gold, and green, grab your best throws, and get ready to pass a good time. If you're going to drink, open the Uber app now and enter the code MG2020. After the festivities, request an Uber, and we'll pay up to $10 for your ride. This offer is good for the first 600 people who use the code from noon on Tuesday, February 25th through 3 a.m. on Wednesday, February 26th. This program can only be used for rides and not Uber Eats, and the offer does not cover tip. Enjoy Mardi Gras 2020 and take a ride on us. Together, we can end DWI.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. Do not forget to buy lentils, or the lentil soup you're making for dinner will be sorely lacking. By the way, Mrs. Calloway says thanks for helping her bundle home and auto. She appreciates the extra savings, even though you kept using the word apropos incorrectly. But the main thing is, do not forget to buy, what was it? Something apropos the lentil soup. Sorry, I'll call you back.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Ron Peterson Firearms is a Southwest premier dealer in antique and modern firearms. No matter what type of gun you are looking to buy or sell, Ron Peterson Firearms is the place to go. Ron Peterson Firearms is recognized nationally as one of the premier dealers of antique firearms. And the reason is Ron Peterson himself. Ron travels the country to attend estate sales and auctions to acquire antique and collectible firearms to add to their inventory. See for yourself why Ron Peterson Firearms is the most trusted gun shop in New Mexico, located in the historic Nob Hill District on Central, just east of Washington.
Ready for another awesome sweet deal? Your next amazing meal is calling. This week's sweet deal is from Tomasitas Albuquerque. This Friday at 9 a.m., you'll get $50 to Tomasitas for only $25. Wow, that's a sweet deal.
Real corn, real New Mexico chile, real beef, real honey. That's what Tomasitas Restaurant has been serving since 1974. When Tomasita Leyva opened her restaurant, she made everything from scratch using her grandmother's recipes. And to this day, that's still the Tomasitas way. Whether you're in the mood for a piping hot relleno, a mouth-watering tamale, a cool margarita, or a refreshing cerveza, an oversized burrito, or a smothered enchilada, savor the taste of Tomasitas. Now in Albuquerque on I-25 and Jefferson in front of Century Rio 24. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week, happy hour Monday through Friday.
Get your $50 to Tomasitas Albuquerque for only $25. Click the Sweet Deals logo starting Friday at 9 a.m.
Go to sportsanimalabq.com and click on the Sweet Deals logo. We know you'll be saying sweet.
The Home Depot has a secret recipe for new kitchen appliances, up to 40% off appliance special buys, like a stainless steel Whirlpool kitchen package for only $18.98. You get a side-by-side refrigerator, electric range, dishwasher, microwave, and for a limited time, over $1,000 off. Guess the secret's out. Save now on a Whirlpool kitchen, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, gas extra. See store for details. Valid through February 26th.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Later today at 1, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All right, it's an interesting conversation. And I don't know if it's forwarding the conversation or just continuing babble. But it makes you think a little bit. David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez have come out, and they're mad at Mike Fiers. Who's Mike Fiers? He's the pitcher. used to be with the Astros. He's the one who blew the whistle on the Astros and said they're cheating and brought it to Major League Baseball and really ignited this whole storm. Fires ignited, get it? Or at least exposed the whole. The Astros ignited it. He exposed it. And is he a hero? Is he a snitch? What is he? Is he a sympathetic figure? And he hasn't really said anything, has he? As far as why he did it, what he did, what his relationship with those guys, like, he hasn't spoken, has he? And I guess, what's he going to say? But, like, of all the people who are talking, that's the one guy I kind of want to hear from.
You have to just look for the stories. Like the comments yesterday saying that, talking about just all the threats he's getting. And
he said he's getting death threats.
That, hey, I can protect myself, and then when it comes to game of baseball, if they throw at me, if he's in that position, then so be it.
Yep, he said he's getting death threats. He says, whatever, I don't care. I've dealt with a lot of death threats before. Really? It's just another thing on my plate. Is that just a common thing? He's getting death threats?
He said he's dealt with people hating him before.
Yeah. Well, the quote I saw is, I've dealt with a lot of death threats before. Whatever, I don't care. That's really, either way. All right. JJ's question is fair. If David Ortiz feels that the guy's a snitch, does that mean that Ortiz is fine with the Astros cheating? And maybe he is.
They just want it to come out a different way, where it's not a player speaking out about former teammates. Like if it was Major League Baseball that ultimately went in and did more than the memo, because it took 2 years after the fact in a athletic article talking about what was going on for anyone to actually take it seriously.
Fires did say, quote, I said from the beginning, I'm not running away from this. I was part of that team. I was one of those guys. I'm willing to take as much punishment as they do. If they ask me to return the ring, it's not the end of the world. Okay. I'm just wondering why he did it. And whether you think it was right or wrong. Like, where are you on? Was it the right thing for him to do or the wrong thing? Would you have done it? It's a tough question, isn't it? It's a tough question.
It's, that's one is, what do you relate it to? It's just like a work situation where, hey, your company is doing something illegal, but we're all benefiting because we have a job.
It's a fair situation. Yeah, we're doing something illegal. It's like insider trading or something. And at some point, man, if we get caught, we're in trouble. But, man, we're killing it. We're making a lot of money. We're somehow end-running the system here. We're making a bunch of money. I got a big Christmas bonus. Damn, I could afford to take my family on that trip to Hawaii. I know we shouldn't be doing this, but dang it. Nobody's ever going to find out. We're killing it. Well, somebody's going to find out. Somebody always finds out. Yeah, I think that's the fair analogy.
It's fair, but it's also difficult because other than public shaming and maybe losing some distrust of your teammates, like, they're not going to jail for any of this.
Right.
So,
right.
Just the PR mess and backlash you have to deal with after the fact.
Yeah. All right. Where are you? 505-246-0610 or 888-922-0610. You can get in on that. Hoops yesterday, good Pac-12 hoops. UCLA was a winner. Colorado was a winner. Arizona State beat Oregon yesterday. Arizona beat Oregon State. So the Pac-12 is kind of heating up. You got a lot of fire at the top. Lobos will be back in action on Sunday. They'll be in Boise to take on Boise State up in Idaho. CBS Sportsnet game. You can listen to the game 2 o'clock over on 96.3 News Radio KKOB. Ladies back at it in the pit on Saturday, and here on the Sports Animal they'll play Boise State. 1:30 is when Josh Sushan cracks the microphone there. What time would the 8? So if they finish in that 8-9 game, Lady Lobos, is that what you got right there? Is that the women's? When would they play the 8-9 game?
Sunday, March.
At noon?
1st.
At noon? No, 2 o'clock.
What are the times? So all times are Pacific. It says 2 p.m. Pacific.
So 3 o'clock our time, and that's when it all gets started in the 8-9 game, and then they would funnel that one. The winner of that would funnel into the 1 seed. Yeah, it's going to be a tough run. It's going to be a really, really tough run from them. But I mean, nothing surprising because that's where we are. Got some stuff on the NFL. Lars says, does it improve the product or is it about money? I don't know if you were talking about expanding the NFL playoffs or having 50 bowl games, Hefe. I don't know. There's not 50. There's, I think, 42. Is that the correlation? Is that right? I mean, you're including more people, but it's not a playoff. But all right, if that's, and it's like anything else, right? If it's expanded playoffs in the NFL, you don't have to watch it, right?
And you're also percentages of teams playing for a title are vastly different.
Yeah, I'm not sure I see the correlation, but if you do, okay, that's fair. 505-246-0610. When we come back, we'll talk a little UNM stuff. Eddie Nunez sat down with the media yesterday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled. You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair and hot it, sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Bars Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home. Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled. You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair and hot it, sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Bars Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque.
Eddie Nunez, the athletic director of UNM, held a round table around a rectangular table yesterday over at the McDavid.
How can they lie like that?
It's unbelievable, man. I mean, get a round table.
Never trust the University of New Mexico.
You know, maybe it was Frank's fault because he put it out
Round
in
table.
in
What
the
is it?
release.
Middle Ages.
That's what I was expecting, but it's on a damn round table. Lot of discussion. I asked him about the transfer, the no sit out a year transfer rule that was proposed by the NCAA on Tuesday. Actually, it's moving and it may become a reality as soon as next year. And you know my fear on this, and and I've read a lot about this, and a lot of people, the coaches hate this.
Of course, the coaches do.
Well, I know you feel anything the coaches. You're always against the coaches.
Okay. Are you screaming for Townsend losing Zane Martin? Are you screaming for Sanford losing Tim Williams?
I'm not screaming that Jefferson or all these other guys left here either. I'm not screaming about that.
If UCLA picks your pocket, you go pick Sanford's pocket. If you really
and
think that's
that makes
happen.
the world better.
It's not going to happen.
Well, why do you think it's just not? And you think I'm so
Well,
totally wrong
I
on
think
this?
if that is the case, then there's going to be a lot of players and coaches and fans in this aspect. They're going to have their eyes open to the situation, the realization that this is much more of a business than any of them want to acknowledge when it comes to athletic scholarships. Because you don't sign someone for 4 years. Like, this is a year-to-year deal.
Okay.
If a coach doesn't want you there, you're gone. So is it?
So all these coaches are wrong. You're
you're
right, and all these coaches' concerns are wrong.
I have a different opinion than those coaches. It's what I'm expressing. It doesn't mean they're right or wrong.
Well, you just told me I'm wrong.
I don't think it's going to be some open season where every good player leaves to go to a Power 5 team, where they just
Everyone will not.
Making spots to grab the Player of the Year for the MEAC or the Player of the Year from the SWAC. What's the possibility? And if that's the case, that player deserves a chance if he wants to go to a better program.
Okay. First of all, you're right. Everyone will not. There will be an exception to the rule. And I guess I'm on the other side of this where then call it a different league. Then call it a different division. If you're going to tell me that there's 354 Division I basketball programs, and the MEAC and the SWAC and the WAC are there to be developmental leagues for the Pac-12 and the SEC, then call it as it is. But in your scenario, and why wouldn't that happen? So
it's happening now. You just have to sit a year.
Okay, which is a disincentive and a little bit of an advantage.
Are we
for the
not
smaller
seeing
schools.
it happen a ton because of the year sitting out? But then there's also the fallback where you're getting the J.J. Caldwells and the Carlton Braggs and the Malachi Flynn's
coming back down the other way. Right.
So there's
So
always
is it not
player-
working right now?
I don't think it would necessarily lead to every good basketball player going to a Power 5 team, because you got to realize those schools are still out recruiting you regardless.
They are, and when they miss, and you hit on a Josh Allen, or you hit on a Marshall Faulk, or you hit on there's a lot of first round picks that have been out of Conference USA or wherever, then all of a sudden you develop them and they reap the benefits, which I'm not a fan of. And you can tell me, and you're not wrong, that well, maybe he deserves the right to play at that school. But the schools, and I asked Eddie this, and I didn't really get an answer, and I'm not sure he knows it. How much does a school, let's just say Wyoming, they find Josh Allen at a high school up in Central California. They develop him for 2 or a redshirt year, 3 years. You've invested a lot into him. Oh, wow, look what we've made him into. And then Cal comes calling or Arizona State comes calling. And how much have you invested into that young man? And he just gets to leave and because the big league's called. I do think that's a problem. And you and I view this differently, and I get that. But I do. If you're going to tell me that they're all FCS schools, they're all Division I schools, they're all and we all know that there's a big.
Why would Troy Calhoun get to go to CU if they came calling?
Yeah, and why would he? I mean, he's been there how many years?
Not a student athlete.
How many years has he been? Yeah, it is different. I mean, the coaches get to do it. The student athletes, you're right. Yeah, it is different. Why isn't it different?
So you should have to. Like if you're gonna, leave, you're gonna leave.
If Troy Calhoun leaves, he's got to pay the remaining whatever's left on his on his contract, right? There's going to be a buyout that Troy Calhoun has got to reimburse the institution. Under this proposal, the student athlete just leaves, and there's nothing for the institution. We paid for his schooling, his lodging, his training, his development, and there's nothing that comes back to the institution.
I think it's will players move? Yes. But the entire first team all-conference Mountain West isn't going into the Pac-12 next year or the Big 12. The entire first team from Atlantic Sun isn't going to the SEC.
You'd be okay if 4 or 5 of them went.
And I don't even think it'd be that many.
All right. And the coaches seem to feel the same way. And you know something that the coaches don't know that
because the coaches want ultimate control of their roster, which is fine. It's their roster, but they're also gladly if a player. You know what? He doesn't fit. We're gonna make sure you can go somewhere else so we can fill that slot. So why shouldn't the player have a one-time decision? It's one time. It's not. Oh, I didn't like it. Right. Let's bounce over here to my third school in 3 years because it's one time.
So commitments to draw the correlation as coaches. Mm-hmm. There is a responsibility, and the coaches do have their disincentive is the buyout. Well. At least the university gets something. There is no disincentive. There is no, and how often, by the way, are we seeing? And I hear that all the time. Well, they're 1 year scholarships. How often are we seeing coaches? And I know what happens. And you'll give me an example. How often are we seeing coaches just say, "Yep, you're gone. You've got nowhere to go." And by the way, the kids who are getting released are typically not working there and find themselves in a better situation. So how
my whole thing is look at the transfer portal right now.
Yep.
There's already 800, 900 kids leaving.
So what's it going to be when?
So do you think just if there's not that 1 year incentive, there's really going to be places for 1,800 kids everywhere?
I think it's going to, if not double, it's certainly going to increase substantially. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why wouldn't it?
Because you need a place to go,
right? And if everybody's shuffling, I mean, all these 900s need a place to go, and they're finding a spot.
Necessarily a step up. Like, not everyone's going to Kansas,
right,
or Duke,
right.
Like, if you're on a really good team, like other than saying, "Hey, I want to compete in a bigger conference," like say you're on a good mid-major team, are you really that excited to go play for Nebraska?
So,
go play at Iowa State.
Do you think every one of these kids is finding themselves in a better situation, whether they go to New Mexico or they go to Nebraska?
I just don't.
They're making a lot of rash decisions.
College basketball, if there's not a redshirt year.
Okay. I don't. So destroying might. I'm not certain. I'm telling you, it's destroying it. I think that'd be a bit extreme from what I'm saying.
I don't think it will hurt college athletics any more than we see now with the transfer.
Yeah, and I totally disagree with that. And I agree with the majority, the stark majority of coaches who that's their business, who are in it.
And what do they say about the transfer?
1 minute.
Like from smaller schools, like it's
nobody's
okay because
saying
they
there
sat out a
shouldn't
year.
be transfers.
Like, because if they're transferring, what's the difference of them being immediately eligible versus sitting out a year?
because there's some incentive to keep. There's different reasons for transferring, right? There's different reasons. One is I'm just poaching. UCLA's coming in. Oh, look what I've got. I've got Kansas. I've got UCLA. I've got Nebraska.
Didn't they do that now if it worked?
First of all, I think it's probably happening now.
30.
And secondly, does that make it better? Like, oh, well, since they're doing it, that argument is such garbage to me. Well, they're already doing it, so let's just get it out in the open. Well, no, that really? Well, Mike Fiers knew they were cheating. Well, let's just get it out in the open.
15.
It doesn't work to me. All right, we got a break. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Sports Bar with Michael and Mike.
My favorite part of the Sports Bar would probably be Lobos, Aggies, and Dallas Cowboys.
I just like all the Lobo coverage that you guys have and the in-depth parts that you give to the program.
I just love listening to you guys.
Sports Bar at 3 p.m.
You never know what's going to happen next, and it's hilarious. I love the chemistry. I appreciate you guys. You do a great job.
Weekdays at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Fresquez Productions presents March Madness, a night of pro boxing Saturday, March 7th at Isleta Resort and Casino. Matthew Diamond Boy Griego versus Ronnie Baldonado. Tickets from $25 at Isleta.com. Cards up to the king. March Madness, March 7th at Isleta Resort and Casino.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Dear Snowplow, you're always pushing it, which I totally respect. Because with RAV4 LE's all-wheel drive and multi-terrain select, I go almost anywhere I want. And with over 200 horses under the hood, I dare almost any storm to try and stop me. In a Highlander, I've got all the room I need to roam with spacious seating for up to 8, an available 3.5-liter V6 that's revved up and ready for whatever's next. I'm all business. Your move, Toyota SUVs.
Visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the new 2020 RAV4, RAV4 all-wheel drive, and RAV4 hybrid models. Visit Toyota.com for more details. Offers end March 2nd. Toyota. Let's go places.
Visit Toyota of Santa Fe, Larry H. Miller Toyota Albuquerque, or Larry H. Miller American Toyota. For more information, visit Toyota.com. Toyota.
Ron Peterson Firearms is a Southwest premier dealer in antique and modern firearms. No matter what type of gun you are looking to buy or sell, Ron Peterson Firearms is the place to go. If Ron Peterson Firearms does not have what you're looking for in their online or in-store selection, give them a call. Their buyers will search the market looking for the firearm you want to add to your collection. See for yourself why Ron Peterson Firearms is the most trusted gun shop in New Mexico, located in the historic Nob Hill District, on Central, just east of Washington.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
If you have kids or pets, sooner or later you'll need new carpet. And right now, the Home Depot has you covered. With an unbeatable selection of carpet that walks the walk, in-store, or even easier, online. Durable and low maintenance, pet-proof, life-proof, and right now, installed for free. It's a good time to be a doer, thanks to free carpet installation at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. $599 minimum purchase of $1 or more per square foot. Valid through May 6, U.S. only.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie, it's me, Jamie. Do not forget to buy lentils, or the lentil soup you're making for dinner will be sorely lacking. By the way, Mrs. Calloway says thanks for helping her bundle home and auto. She appreciates the extra savings, even though you kept using the word apropos incorrectly. But the main thing is, do not forget to buy, what was it? Something apropos the lentil soup. Sorry, I'll call you back.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
This hour's free money national keyword is rich. R-I-C-H. Text it at 95819 for your chance to win. K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM and 610 AM. KNML Albuquerque.
All right, Troy Calhoun might be the guy at Colorado. Steve Sarkisian out. He's going to stay at Alabama. Brett Bielema is the other name that you're hearing a lot, along with Troy Calhoun. Opening drive, happy Friday. Jeff, JJ, Micah. Josh produces for you on ProView Networks. Hope you're watching the show over on ProViewNetworks.com. Terrific production that they do over there. Get a good shot of young, handsome JJ Buck. And, chicks are just digging it. I know your ratings are up when you take that shot, huh? Especially on Mondays when he's got his hair done for the TV thing. Mm-hmm. I know. I know it's working.
Fresh cut.
See? All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails come in. Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. Rod said, what happened to student athletes? Jeff, if this passes, it isn't college athletics anymore. When teams are rating each other, you become the New Mexico Slam or the Duke City Gladiators. I hate this idea. I don't know that it's that and rating.
What happened to student athletics? I don't know. It's something that got lost a long time ago in college athletics.
Yeah, I disagree with that too.
No one. It's fine to applaud them at halftime, but no one cares about their grades. No one cares that there might be some players on that level basketball team that are great students, that are great in the community, but if you lose them by 20.
Well, first of all, to say no one cares is incorrect. Secondly, 98% of the student athletes are taking advantage of the opportunity which they're given. And so you saw a court full of student athletes that probably the tennis player, and maybe it will affect tennis. Maybe UNM gets a great tennis player from Slovenia that UCLA missed, and 2 years in, maybe they're interested in that too. But what happened to the student athlete? I think they hit the back pages. To say that they've disappeared, I wholeheartedly disagrry with that. And I know for a fact student athletes are taking advantage of opportunities. We talk about big time. We talk about the top 1 or 2% of athletes who are going pro, and should they be in college athletics, and is college athletics a minor league for the pros? That's a different conversation. But to say, I just vehemently disagree with the fact that, the statement, because it's not a fact, that the student athlete it's gone away. I absolutely disagree with that.
The student athlete's there, but no one cares.
Well,
are you producing, are you winning games?
Yeah, I understand it. The football, men's basketball, football, women's basketball. Yeah, I understand that. And do you care that the cross-country team won a national championship, or do you care? You don't care about them either. They're there, and it's a student-athlete experience. They won a national championship.
I think it's a very challenging situation to be in when you have just the level that college athletics has risen to, and how many eyes are on your product, the importance of your product, how many people do care about it. And then so you're saying, all right, what can we do for student athletes to give them opportunities? Yes, the scholarship matters a lot. I'm not downplaying that at all. But in such a big industry,
it is a big
that you're balancing, hey, y'all a bunch of amateurs over here, you're getting a scholarship versus the millions that are on the line, win-loss. This is why you're recruiting players. This is why you're giving players chances, because that win-loss record, not because of your GPA. It's a hard line to balance.
It's a very tough balance, and it's getting tougher. All right, I only got one line open. I just looked down. Holy smokes! All right, Edward, get us started.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. I work with a guy that went to Baylor University. He's a fine gentleman. And when RG3 was there and he won the Heisman, they did an assessment, and they said him alone being there and winning the Heisman and the success of their program generated over $1 billion of revenue.
No doubt.
And played a huge part in then getting a new stadium.
Okay.
So, and that permeates to the university and goes into research and provides jobs. And,
there's a reason that schools sponsor athletics. Yeah, there's a reason that they sponsor athletics. Yeah.
Indeed. Hey, two things. One, your thread this morning on Jose Altuve and Big Papi, it boils down what I've been saying for several years now. It's called situational ethics. Situational ethics is prevalent in the church. It's prevalent in corporate America. And just a brief example, if we all worked together and we benefited from something, let's say we went down to the cafe and the Coke machine would give us free Cokes, right? And we all know it did. And we all got a free Coke and didn't say anything. And meanwhile, whoever owns that Coke machine is losing money because we're getting free Cokes. And everybody's like, hey, this is kind of cool for us. Everybody knows about it. Nobody says anything. Then one guy says, hey, by the way, the Coke machine's broken. And they come in and fix it. And then everybody has wrath against that guy. It's a very small example. But that's why you have standards. Because when you start budging in some capacity, then you'll start rationalizing in your mind saying, well, it's okay to do this. And then it's okay to do this. And you start pushing boundaries. And then everything kind of falls apart. And then as soon as somebody doesn't benefit from it or has a vendetta against somebody else, then it all falls apart and comes into light. And it's very interesting. So I think that's kind of what's happening here with the Altuve situation. Hey, real briefly, I did get some feedback yesterday on my Tony Romo thought on the contract. Let me briefly share this. I think outside of his stellar rookie season, right, the last 3 seasons, which is a good body of work, he's 3 games over 500. 3 games over 500 with the stellar offensive line, great attributes to players they brought in. And I'm not knocking Dak Prescott. I'm not backing. But the way you truly measure your worth, the Cowboys should do this. Let him test free agency. Let him test free agency because I don't think there's more than 2 or I don't think there's any team in the league that says, hey, we're Dak Prescott away from winning the Super Bowl or being a huge Super Bowl contender.
Oh, $35 million.
He is a franchise quarterback. Yep. He is. But let's say Tampa offered him $35, $40 million a year, and Dallas came back and offered him 33. What would you do? You want to go play for the Buccaneers for a couple more $1 million a year? You want to go play for the Cincinnati Bengals for $38 million a year? Or do you want to play for the flagship franchise? And I think that they should regain leverage and say, okay, Dak, here's our offer. If you think you can beat this, feel free to test free agency and come back to us.
Well, I think they should give him an offer first. But
indeed, you want me to make an offer and then say, here's our offer. If you feel you're worth more, then feel free and go test it, and then you find out your true worth.
Yeah. All right. No,
Gentlemen,
see you.
I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Enjoy the weekend. Yeah, I think they should give, like it's what we were saying yesterday, right? Give them an offer and let's go. Robert, good morning. How you living?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, I think this transfer rule, if it gets instated, will really kill the mid majors. Every conference other than the Power Fives, simply because this would become a training ground. Like a guy like Nemus Queta, after his first year at Utah State, he would have been gone. Somebody would have said, "Hey," and so no team would be able to build any kind of consistency or any kind of good future team. Picture, let's say, Major League Baseball allowed every player to, after every season, to go anywhere they want. With no contracts, nothing, just get picked up for that next year. Don't you think the Yankees and maybe the Red Sox, a few of the big teams, would just start hoarding everybody and just get whoever they want?
Well, if everything was free agency
that's kind of the same thing that would happen there.
Yeah, if everything was free agency every year, now it would be one transfer. You'd only be allowed one one transfer in your college career without sitting out. Then if you transferred again, you'd have to go with a redshirt year. But Nemus Queta is an interesting conversation. Do you think he'd still be at Utah State? They found a good one there, right? And I know you're saying, he has an opportunity to go play at UCLA. He should have that opportunity, right?
Well, and all these spots just going to be open everywhere because Duke is still out recruiting Nemus Queta.
Everybody's out recruiting, though. You're out recruiting every year. It's amazing how spots just show up for guys, right? I mean, I think there would be spots that show up. I think what would happen more is the scenario you've talked about where, all right, hey, we don't have room for you anymore. You're gone. I think he just hung up.
He's gone.
Yeah. But I think you'd have more of those situations now where, we got Nemus Queta, you're gone. Go find a place at New Mexico, right? Or Utah State. John, good morning. Let me do it again. Hello,
morning.
John.
How are you doing?
Good. What's happening?
Good morning. How are you doing? You guys hit my funny bone there when you said that nobody gives a damn about an education for college students. Well, I do. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a citizen. And if I got a bunch of uneducated, illiterate people walking around, it's going to make my life hell. And I believe we should reward excellence. And at the end of the day, the parents that send their kids there want their kids to be educated. And when you're giving somebody $75,000 a year tax-free money to make a difference in their lives, you expect results. And not just on the court. And at the end of the day, I never give money to any institution for which they are not trying to achieve some degree of excellence to fulfill their basic mission. And I think most people feel that way.
Yep.
When my mother went to the University of West Virginia, which is not New Mexico or New Mexico State, and they have by far very good athletic programs, the chancellor of the university said that all of our giving goes up when our athletes are performing well.
No doubt.
But it goes up higher when our athletes are performing well as academics and our overall programs as an institution are doing well. And if we continue to spouse out this crap about it's only about the athletic teams and nobody gives a crap, then you're going to get an economy that looks like New Mexico's. It sucks. I think that we need to talk more about the academic side of it because at the end of the day, only 1% of those guys is going anywhere, maybe less.
Yeah, John, I think that's fair.
And,
I don't think that's what you meant when you said no. When you said nobody cares about, we parade them out there. Nobody cares about their GPAs. I think you were talking in generalities as far as the sports fan.
Well, I'm not saying that. J.J. Buck said that.
Right.
Yeah,
no,
I did say that.
I was looking at you were saying that in generalities, right? I mean, I think you realize people do.
I think people do care.
Yeah,
I care. A lot of people care, and if people continue to say that people don't care, then you're pushing the envelope to continue to distort the mission of the institution.
Yeah.
And
John,
saying that it's okay. It's like what the guy said with the situational ethics.
Yep.
If you continue to say one thing, people believe it, and then they push that, and you created a situational ethics that Edward so nicely talked about in his little thing this morning.
Yeah.
So
all right, John.
I think we need to talk more about the academics, man.
Yep, I think that's fair. I appreciate your call. And
he has great points.
Yeah.
But that's my thing is, this is athletics, and people aren't buying season tickets because your team has a 3.8 GPA, and that's the message that is getting pushed. Is you're there to win. People are buying season tickets to see you win, and so you can sit there and say, "Hey, we have great student athletes," which I agree with. Like, those things need to be talked about. And if you're a program, you're an institution, an athletic department, what they did was great at halftime, acknowledging the GPAs of those student athletes.
Yeah,
but you can't sit here and then say, hey, we have a bunch of great student athletes, but we've won one game.
Yeah, I think your point is not nobody cares. Nobody's buying tickets because their GPA.
Like, that's what you're fighting. That's what you're balancing.
Yeah, and the balance is fair. John, I think, and
John has great points.
Yeah, and I know JJ well enough. I think he does care, and he's not.
But that's
the intent is that nobody
realization
cares.
Is you're dealing with student athletes, and you're pushing a product. You're like, hey, this is great. But what if the University of Wyoming what if that basketball team had a 4.0 GPA?
That's right, but they're 1 in 15 in conference, and nobody's going to the games. I mean, that's nor is anybody going to watch them in chemistry class either. Mm-hmm. It's not nobody cares, because I think people do care. If you're going to get right down to the core and give people truth serum, they care more what their record is in conference than what their GPA is. Then you take pride. Oh yeah, nice, okay. For the majority of people will say, nice GPA, but it's not. You're right when you say it's not selling tickets. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
He used to coach for Del Norte. And
here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the... Behind the back of the dribble. Trying to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotnet sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku. Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home. Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And
here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the... Behind the back of the dribble. Trying to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And hot it. Sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
AJ, Micah, Josh, we'll have a sweet deal for you coming up in a few minutes. Interesting conversation. Stigler came in. He had his points. So there's one thing is, and I think he's right, there's no absolutes. There's no all of this and all of that. And yeah, you're right. I think that's right. Grady's probably got a point. Hello, Grady.
Situational student-athlete supporters
That's
of
right.
the OD
That's
in the AM.
Yep.
It's getting a little hot up in there. What's going on? What are you guys doing?
We're on different sides
wrong.
of
You're wrong.
an issue. It's all right. I mean, I still like the man. I still respect the man. Hopefully, he still likes and respects me. Maybe he never did. I don't know, but I think you can have a conversation and be on different sides of the issue.
Hey, that's what this format's all about, right?
Believe me, if the student athletes want to go to school, I'm going to get rid of all their debt.
Nice. Hey, so I wanted to touch base real quick with the whole Big Papi thing.
Yeah.
And I think that JJ's question is spot on.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that by Big Papi, and I don't know whoever else said that old boy was a
Pedro
snitch.
Martinez.
Pedro Martinez. Okay, so I think that is the conclusion that some would come to, that, well, maybe that they're more offended by him doing that versus the cheating scandal. I think that's absolutely true. And I don't think that that's situational ethics. I think that it's a matter of what's more important to these dudes. And to me, what's more important to these guys is a tight-knit, and obviously not all of them, obviously you can't speak in absolute, but the ones with this opinion is a tight-knit locker room brotherhood, what stays here, or what happens here stays here kind of deal. And I don't think that the cheating is as, and I know JJ got after you about this last week when I sent my email. I don't think the cheating is as scandalous as it was. So listen, I graduated high school 300 years ago, and when I'm in the batter's box, our first base coach, the coach says, "All right, Grady, get ready, fastball." When the first base coach says, "All right, 3-3,
yeah, but that's
get ready,
that's
breaking ball."
You don't think
but it was, we knew when we first got there as freshmen.
Could you hit it?
We knew the system.
Could you hit it?
I was terrible. I just didn't like to run, so I didn't run track. So I had to do something in the spring.
Well, that would be a situation, just to your point, like you'd be able to address. Like if the first base coach was sitting out there calling out the pitches, then the other team would be able to react to that. Like maybe let's change something up to where the first base coach isn't yelling out every pitch.
And they never did. And so I understand that, but I guess my point, my point is, I think what the Astros, again, they took it way too far with video and codes and all this other stuff, but really it's kind of like steroids. When dudes were taking greenies and uppers and all that, they were hyped up and they were able to do great things, but then steroids magnified that by 1,000. So it's the same thing. People have been stealing signs since baseball started, but when you're using video and also it magnifies it, it takes it out of the park. But it's still the same thing. It's still science.
At the core, it's still sign stealing. Yes, but it's escalated to a point of. I mean, they cross.
Well, and I understand that, but I get my point is, I think that there probably are more people in baseball, Major League Baseball, that are more offended by the fact that some dude broke the code.
I think there's a lot of people like that. Yeah.
That the Astros were, and I think people at that level, and Pedro Martinez and Big Papi, since they're not in the game anymore, they can afford to say that, so they won't be, oh my God, these guys, they're endorsing cheating, and so they're kind of outside of the fray, so they can say that. But I guarantee you, there's probably more people than you think that feel
fair.
that way.
All right, no, it's a good way to look at it. I appreciate it. It's good to hear you.
Appreciate the time, gentlemen.
See you. All right, Grady called at 246-0610. 888-922-0610. All right, we got a sweet deal if I could get George to come in, but I can't. I mean, yeah, thank you, Micah. I've been I don't know how else to do it. I'm waving, but nobody wants to come in anymore. I don't know. George just didn't want to come in, and he was like, all right, we'll do every other station, but we're not doing the sports animal. Is that how that goes, George? You don't want to come in here anymore?
I'm here.
Oh, it's good to see you. What's up?
Good morning. Nothing. I was just over at the restaurant, and they were rolling tamales over there.
That sounds like it would be a pretty good breakfast for those guys. I mean, lunch for someone.
It would be lunch for someone. We're not open for breakfast. Not quite yet, anyway.
That's right. That's right. All right. We got a sweet deal for you. It's Tomasitas, and this is one that sells out like super quick all the time. For just $25, you get $50 worth of gift certificates over at Tomasitas. You go to our website right at the top of the hour at sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon in Tomasitas, where they don't mess with their red or green chili. Traditional New Mexico cuisine, the way Abuela made it. Famous margaritas, local microbrews. You got a lot going on over there.
We do.
All right. Anything change on the menu? I guess if it's not broken, why would I fix it?
Red and green.
Yeah.
But we throw some specials on there every once in a while.
Yeah.
So.
And you guys are killing it. Every time I go by there, I mean, I know your lunch crowd is huge. You're right there on I-25 in Jefferson in front of the Century Rio 24. Lunch every day, dinner every day. The happy hour is big too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
You getting a lot of people coming and watching the games?
Más o menos.
Yeah, más o menos. Un poquito, bebida, cerveza, margarita.
Exactly.
And then the chili. Well, you talked about this before. It's you don't play with the chili, man.
We don't mess with the chili. It's all about getting it from the best growers in southern New Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's the quality of the core ingredient there is the key to our chili, and we don't mess with it.
Yeah, I guess why mess with perfect, right?
Don't mess with happy.
Somebody once said that, and then he got booed. 7-8 years later, he got booed. All right, it's your core. It's where you go. It's a place that you love, and now you can do it for half price with this sweet deal for just $25. $5, you get $50 worth of the goodness that is Tomasitas on I-25 and Jefferson. Whether you're in the mood for a piping hot relleno or a mouth-watering tamale, a cool margarita, or refreshing cerveza, or those gigantic, oversized burritos, smothered enchiladas. Get by and go see George and the people over at Tomasitas. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
We'll do everything we can to sell this thing out for you.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yourself over there. What's the website, by the way? People want to take a look at the
www.tomasitas.com.
Pretty easy. Tomasitas.com. Take a look at the menu. Get over there for lunch. And enjoy the sweet deal at 9 o'clock on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And
here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the... Behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotman sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. BC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Bars Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company. Come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple...
Get some tomasitas in my belly before that. Oh, we don't get any?
Give me a hole if you got your funky bus fare.
Everybody should be able to hoe, not just the billionaires like Mayor Bloomberg. All right, so everybody got to hoe. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Ho to yo. 2460610. Y'all lit up the emails with that. Gopher says, sounded good, Jeff. I thought Feel the Burn was in that plush OD studio with you. I had to turn on ProView and make sure it wasn't him. He's not. He's in Nevada, trying to get everybody out to vote. 2460610.
Yeah, there's going to be no competition. You have the best Bernie.
Hot take Dougie thinks he does a pretty good one, but I was a little underimpressed.
It was like Rabbi Bernie.
Mm-hmm. It was
like what's going on?
And he had the wrong hand motions. He was like waving his hands.
Came in way too confident with that.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, hot take, Dougie.
Everybody should be able to go to the movies and get goobies and popcorn with real butter. The margarine is destroying our planet. Yeah. 2460610. 888-922-0610. San Diego State is in line for number 1 seed in the Mountain West, or in the NCAA tournament. They are the number 1 seed in the Mountain West tournament. So, what did you make of...
And 3 of their best players are transfers. Dun, dun, dun.
They are. 2 of them are graduate transfers who went by the rules. One, Malachi Flynn, set out the year and came down, theoretically, from San Diego State. And I say came down because Brian Dutcher made a comment this week that, and I'm paraphrasing it, but he says when we recruit, we don't recruit as a mid-major. We consider ourselves to be a major program in a mid-major conference. Is that arrogance? Is that confidence? Is that earned truth? Or is that a bunch of crap?
It's confidence.
Okay.
With truth in there.
I think it's right.
When you look at players that they've developed, you can start with a Kawhi Leonard and go from there. Jalen McDaniels, guys going to the next level. Now they're still not in
Winston Shepard's still there? I'm kidding.
Yeah. They're still not in the superstar market, but they're in the very good market.
Well, so would you put them in programs on the West Coast? And I'll define the West Coast from New Mexico, Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming over to the coast. Would you consider them one of the elite programs on the West Coast?
Yeah, and I think what's impressive is they...
Or in the West?
Are a fantastic program, and they're not necessarily doing headline recruiting.
Not much of it.
They're not, we just signed a 5-star kid. Or just
Now, they'll get the second chance, to your point, on the transfer. They'll get the Dwayne Poley on the second chance coming back from Syracuse. They'll get Malachi Flynn when it didn't work out at Washington State. They'll get that guy. Now, it's interesting you talk about their transfers. Flynn was good. I don't know if you would say he was great, but he was good at Washington State. Fagan was really good at Santa Clara. And Wetzel was on a team that lost 17 in a row at Vanderbilt.
It's a bad Vanderbilt team.
Right? So to your point,
it's all balanced.
It's situational recruiting.
They were able to strike a great balance. Hit a home run on Malachi Flynn.
Matt Mitchell got better.
The best player. The development of Matt Mitchell.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to win at a high level. Is sometimes you'll get a Utah State where it feels like, they got these guys in, they developed Sam Merrill, and then you add a Queta and Breen and Brito. Sometimes you're going to get that, but it's still all about balance to where you have a Matt Mitchell develop, and then you bring in a graduate transfer point guard, a graduate transfer forward, and it clicks because the other rotation players are recruited.
Well, there's something to be said about having an older team. Like there's a saying, I want to be old and stay old. Like, how do you do that? And the formula would be what Brian Dutcher's doing right now is get some of these grad transfers. If you can find a Flynn, like a 2-year transfer, or you can find a 2-year grad transfer, which are so rare, and then develop a few of your own players, the Shackles and the Matt Mitchells and those guys. And I'm not ready to put them in a classification with Gonzaga yet. Right, Gonzaga's the best program in the Western United States, and after that, it's probably Arizona. But you can make an argument that San Diego State and Arizona have been on par with each other for the last. Pick your decade.
Just looking at production,
and Oregon's probably got to be in there now.
Yeah, Oregon. Like the Pac-12 is always going to have the headline players,
but the best program's Gonzaga.
Gonzaga's the best program. Pac-12 is going to have the headlines when we're just talking about recruits and even the one-and-done players that are coming through. But stability, San Diego State's right there, if not number 2, even compared to those Pac-12.
Yeah, I think they're number 2. And maybe, their down years have probably been like Arizona's down years. They haven't had like just horrible year. I think there was a year where they missed the postseason. They didn't make the NIT. And I'm not saying this out of anything but because of what Brian Dutcher said and how they're out recruiting and what does that do and what they're bringing to the conference. There's a part of me that says, gosh, it'd be great to see them run the table. And then you look at the last bunch of mid-majors that ran the table, and Gonzaga lost in the championship game to North Carolina. Wichita State lost before they got to the Sweet 16. I think St. Joe's did it a number of years back.
The Wichita State team it was they got a 1 seed, right, that year?
They did get a 1 seed.
What their problem was, the 8-9 game was
like Kentucky,
a Kentucky team that underachieved, but was still ridiculously talented that they ended up playing in the second.
They ran into that, and San Diego State could too. I mean,
that 8-9 game is you're usually getting a power conference team,
a really good one.
Didn't have a good regular season, but it's still pretty good because right now Jerry Palm's latest bracket, the 8-9 game opposite the top seed San Diego State Aztecs is Texas Tech, Arizona State.
And that would probably be back, well, it would be in Sacramento. So you want to run up against a Texas Tech team who was in the Final Four last year, the final game last year, or Arizona State and Bobby Hurley, and you saw what they did to
but I would like that
Oregon last night
side of the bracket overall.
Sure.
Because of 4-5 in that, it would be Auburn, Oregon, and then 12-13 is Stephen F. Austin, Akron. So that would be a nice draw.
You're gonna play quality. You're playing champions no matter who you are. I was curious what you thought on the whole mindset. It's the best job in our conference as a coach. That's what you want. The best job in your league. We're in a great city with only one major league team. We are the pro basketball team in the 8th largest city in America. I mean, end quote. That he's got an incredible job, and as long as they win, and they're winning, you can do it at a tremendous level, right?
Yeah. And right now, he's not wrong. And the rest of the conference is looking up at San Diego State going, I wish that is us, especially every Lobo fan listening right now.
Yeah.
Biggest thing in town, like a pro sports team.
Undefeated and number 1 seed. Yeah. Hey, I want to give you a little truth, fellas, before we go to this next break. Listen up, because there's a men's health clinic right here in Albuquerque that can help you feel like you again. New Male can help you take care of lack of energy, low T, erectile dysfunction. You just got to pick up a phone and call them. New Male's helped thousands of men all over the country feel better for years. New Male's been the leader when it comes to men's health with the cutting-edge technology, the latest treatments, and New Male's helping men deal with depression, hair loss, ED. Just pick up the phone and call them. 505-652-1688. That's the number. 505-652-1688, or visit Newmale, NUMALE.com. Here's a bit more truth. When men reach a certain age, low T, ED, lack of energy are all natural. But that doesn't mean you've got to live with it, and it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of. Call New Male at 505-652-1688. The process is comfortable. From the phone call to your first visit, all the way through the treatments, and the results are real. Do yourself a favor and take care of you. Call New Male at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and feel better.
Sports Animal time is 8:42. Let's take another look at the roads. We're still seeing some delays from that accident at Uray and 57th Street. That's going to be eastbound delays there. And then we're seeing some complications from that accident at Broadway and Odelia. We're seeing some slight delays in all directions there. And then if you do see any other accidents out there, please give us a call at the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167. Brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 in Comanche. From the 96.3 News Radio KKOB Traffic Center, I'm Micah Turman with your Sports Animal Traffic.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. 40 years ago Saturday, Herb Brooks' 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team stunned the Soviets 4-3 in Lake Placid. So how did those collegians pull off perhaps the greatest upset in sports history? First and foremost, folks, it was conditioning. They trained nonstop for 7 months, often practicing before and after playing games. As assistant coach Craig Patrick declared, they were the best trained athletes on the planet, and boy were they. Brooks also created a unique hybrid style of hockey that combined the speedy skating and precision passing of the Eastern European game with the hard-hitting North American brand. Finally, Brooks' squad enjoyed a psychological edge. After crushing the Americans 10-3 at Madison Square Garden 2 weeks earlier, the Soviets underestimated Team USA, but the Americans played fearlessly and flawlessly, and the rest is history. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Head clogged with sinus pressure, congestion, and a stuffy nose? The worst. But you can get fast relief from Vicks Sinex nasal spray. It works in seconds and lasts for 12 hours. 12 hours. So breathe freely, fast with the Vicks Sinex. Use as directed.
O'Reilly.
It's O Rewards Bonus Points Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Earn double points on all sale items like wiper blades, motor oil, tools, and more. Ready for an oil change? Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly High Mileage Motor Oil and a MicroGuard filter for $23.99, plus double O Rewards points. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Guys, are you ready for a big night? Score from Force Factor helps ignite desire, maximize physical response, and extend pleasure by increasing blood flow when and where you need it most. Unleash your potential in the bedroom with Score. Now available at Walmart.
Sponsored by NutriClick.
What you gotta do is give me some money, okay?
Get your share of free money. Your chance to win just by listening and texting. Listen for the national keyword at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. When you hear it, text the national keyword to 95819, and you could win $1,000. It's that easy. You're listening anyway. You love to text, and you like getting paid. We can't make it any easier than that. For complete rules and information, visit our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Free money. Free money. 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Cold or flu make you feel like a zombie? Ugh, what a nightmare. Mucinex Night Shift is ready to help. Show Mucinex Night Shift how you beat the zombie funk for your chance to win $1,000 or a VIP experience. Visit beatthezombiefunk.com for details.
Because lives matter, results matter. $12.5 million settlement for a Glasheen, Vaez, and Inderman injury lawyer's client, resulting from a wrongful death company vehicle wreck. Call Glasheen, Vaez, and Inderman, 243-7200.
Precision Door, a name you can trust.
When you push the button on your garage door and it makes a loud noise, that's a sure sign of trouble. That's when you should call Precision Garage Doors at 244-DOOR. These guys are ready to roll. They know you don't have time to wait to get your vehicle out of the garage. Precision Garage Doors has well-trained technicians who won't cut corners. They'll let you know exactly what needs to be done so you get the problem solved. They even offer a lifetime warranty. You spend time in the garage? Ask about insulating your door to make it more comfortable and keep the winter weather out. Here's what their customers really like. Precision sends a picture of the technician headed to your home, and they let you know when he's on the way. You can trust Precision Garage Doors. Call 244-DOOR or visit GarageDoorsAlbuquerque.com. That's 244-DOOR or GarageDoorsAlbuquerque.com. Make the right decision. Call Precision.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Excuse me, are you the wisest person in the world?
I am.
I have searched all over and climbed this mountain to find you. How does one achieve inner peace?
By letting go of the things we no longer use and selling them.
You mean like a garage sale?
Garage sales bring only pain. You seek Mercari.
Ooh, is that a mantra?
No, Mercari is a selling app. It's fast and easy. Take a few pics, add a description, and your path to freedom awaits.
Oh, your wisdom is sound.
Yeah, I know. I know.
You can find Mercari on the app stores or Mercari.com.
Catch the Sports Bar with Michael and Mike. Local talk today at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Eric Musselman, the coach at Arkansas, former coach at Nevada, said if he wouldn't trade in his life, but he came back as someone else, he'd come back as Brian Dutcher. And by the way, you know how they got Yanni Wessel? Yanni Wessel's from New Zealand, and the surfing in Nashville wasn't very good, so he went to San Diego State because he likes to surf.
Huh? Not only can you play a high level of basketball,
yeah,
you're on a much better basketball team, get some surfing.
Yes. Yeah, bro. Go down to PV, bro. You can go up to Blacks, kill a little swell.
But have you ever had green chili?
Nobody goes over to those ponchos and gets those rolled tacos and guacamole for $1.69 or whatever it's called these days.
But we don't mess with the red and green here.
By the way, that's live on our website in a few minutes. Hello, Ruben. How you living?
Hey, thank you, Jeff. Good morning, guys. Thanks for the call. Well, it's getting close to March Madness, fellows, and I have to submit my annual pet peeve thing about the NCAA selections. I read something the other day that they're thinking about taking 10 10 Big Ten schools into the tournament. I mean, this has gotten, I don't know about that. Anyway, just, hoping the Mountain West could be represented. I know they did good in football, so need to carry it over to basketball. I know JJ always thinks that the Mountain West is a one-bid pony, so hopefully, I think Utah State, according to Palm's latest, I think they're in, one of the last four in or first four in. So, anyway, just hoping that we get represented well. San Diego State's awesome. I hope they go the whole thing undefeated. One last thing is I really enjoy Jerry Palm when you guys have him on Thursdays. It's one of the highlights of the week for me. And just want to hear your take on the NCAA selections. 10 schools out of the Big Ten? Come on, when are we going to get these mid-majors more representation? Last thing, Jeff, is it's getting spring weather here. You're going to have the golf Jedi Master Sandia guy coming on?
That's the plan. Soon? Yeah, that's the plan right around the Masters. Thanks, Ruben. Yeah, the plan is to bring Nick back right around the Masters. With the golf tips and talking with him again, and I talked to him about it. I think they're in with that. So yeah. So what'd you do today, man? I mean,
there's no way San Diego should be a 1 seed. All they're doing is winning in the Mountain West Conference. It's a joke. It's a 1-bid league. 5 seed at best for the Aztecs.
All right. 505-246-0610. 5 seed at best for who?
The Aztecs.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What did you do to people today, man?
I apparently woke up.
Well,
started talking to a microphone.
I mean, you are
other stuff made.
You are wrong on some stuff. Although
we differ.
So the athletic director at the university is on your side. He agrees with you. And he said, there's also the concern of what the transfer policy will be with what comes from the NIL, the name, image, and likeness thing.
There's
right?
a lot.
And how does that all tie into into everything? I'm not a fan of it. I'm not telling you it runs rampant, but I'm not telling you it's not. I listen to the coaches that's their livelihood. I think that concern is real. I don't think it's just something to be shrugged off and poo-pooed and why? Because bottom line is, if I'm sitting at UCLA and I don't have a quarterback and I look up and there's Josh Allen killing it at Wyoming, why am I not going up and trying to take that kid? Or at Cal and saying, well, you come back home. What are you doing freezing your backside off in Laramie, Wyoming? Come home and let your family play here and play in the Pac-12 and look at our TV. Why would you play there? Well, I like it here, sir. How much of that's going to happen? No, that's all. I think it's real. I know you think it's not, and we're going to find out.
The Josh Allen thing, wouldn't he go JUCO a year?
Yeah.
He went to Wyoming, did not play. He appeared in
and had that good year.
Had a decent year.
Yeah, but decent enough where
he
was already on the draft boards.
Not really.
Going into his junior year, he was absolutely on the draft boards.
Okay. It wasn't to the point where
he was the number one pick.
Poachable.
Yeah,
at that point.
Well, I guess what does poachable mean? Right, you're re-recruiting all the time. And maybe that's a good thing. We'll find out. Because I think
Josh
it's going
Allen
there.
is 56% completion percentage at Wyoming.
That's right. Well, if I could coach him up, and if he could come here and not play in the freezing cold, then I can get him up to 69%. Yeah. Sarah says, how does this improve the product, Jeff? Is it good to have rosters always in flux? You used to have a player or two leave after the season over playing time, but this year Lady Lobos had 3 starters depart in the middle of the season. It just kills continuity, not to mention fan interest, when you need to program every game to tell who's on the court. It's from Sarah. Then there's that, right? What does it do? And you and I have had this conversation. The year of the time of having a full class of 4-year seniors is going by the wayside. But to that point, what does it do?
There's a lot of senior nights where it's just crickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our manager, congratulations.
And our manager's been here, and he's been here 1 year. Did you get to know Yanni Wetzel? Yeah.
1 minute.
But that's also a symptom that's happening right now with sitting out a year.
Yeah, no, that's right. I think the fan engagement piece, as we sit around and talk about lack of or attendance drops at all of these schools, not just New Mexico, but everywhere, is that part of it? You don't get to know these guys for you. Every year you're having to relearn your team. Is that part of it, or do you just root for what's on the front of the jersey and blindly go, yay, Lobos?
You don't have a problem if you're
winning,
benefiting from it.
Winning. 30. All right, 505-246-0610. Bring it. 888-922-0610. I got a bunch more emails for you, maybe thought-provoking. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Josh on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled. You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the... Behind the back of the dribble. Trying to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotnet sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku. Oh. Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company. Come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty.
What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services. High school letter.
All right, a lot of opinion flowing today. Not all in agreement, which is probably good. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, and J Bro over on the ProView Network side. What do you know, J Bro? Watch our show every day live on ProView Networks. ProViewNetworks.com and on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. Our sweet deal is hot right now. Go to our website, sportsanimalabq.com.
It'll sell out quick.
Click on the sweet deal icon. Tomasitas, $25 gets you $50 at Tomasitas. Jeff sent me a text on the transfer rule. He said if the players are keeping grades up and are focused on a degree, every university I know or have dealt with lives up to the 4 to 5 years of scholarships committed. It's very rare where they don't. And I think this would increase them not living up to it. He says, I think letting kids move should be allowed. Just tie grades and class credit hours to it. The NCAA makes $1 billion a year just with basketball. It hasn't been amateur sports since the 50s. I think grades are credit. You have to be in good standing, not on academic probation, not on any other social probation. There's a lot of things that are tied to this proposed legislation. Matt says, feeling the burn. Jeff, I believe it really is a generational thing. JJ is always supporting the student athlete as if they're so disenfranchised and being taken advantage of. It's right in line with what 70% of millennials and Gen Zers think and feel. I want free education, free health care, a high-wage job without proving myself. Only one problem with all this, nothing is free. I'm just reading it, man. The burden is just being placed on others to support this smoother path for younger generation. I'm not saying we shouldn't strive to make the world easier or better for the next generations, but I'm tired of the handout, poor me attitude. But that's not what this change wave is about. It's about people unwilling to make any sacrifices or really know the meaning of working to build something. It's just too hard, Jeff. The world is too cruel and mean. What a joke. Bunch of freaking weenies and crybabies. Can't imagine if we had to storm the beaches of Normandy with a draft class of these lazy wimps. Life is about decisions. We all have to make tough ones. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. That's how we learn. Life shouldn't be about a bunch of free do-overs from Matt.
One, dude. Seems like you got a lot more anger towards the younger generation than a dude transferring to play basketball or football. Or a female transferring to play basketball or football.
It could be a female, too. So there's a line in there, right?
And it goes back to the previous email too. It's not a dude never showed up and is failing and he's going to transfer his way up to Duke. Like, you still have to be eligible. You still have to get into these colleges.
Yep.
And no one is like, I've never not acknowledged the benefit of a student athlete. But if we're just talking about a one-time free transfer, that's not calling everyone soft. I don't think it's going to destroy college athletics. Will there be challenges? Yes. But just like there are challenges right now with a redshirt rule, with everything that these athletic departments are dealing with, they're trying to be student athletes and be a positive for all these players, but then realize, well, it takes money to do all this stuff, and where's the money coming from? Blah, everything that goes with athletics. But my goodness, that was an angry email about so much more than just a dude transferring to play athletics.
Generational and situational, and where have we been today? Situational listening.
And by the way,
there's some stuff in there.
There's a lot of younger people than me that are doing great things, serving this country.
Mm-hmm.
You want to just drop that whole BS, lazy ass take? I'm an angry old man. Y'all are soft stuff.
Oh, why is he angry? Why are all older people angry?
I don't know.
Why are all older people angry? Come on now.
He's coming across.
All
that
younger
way.
people are
why
lazy?
Why are all the younger people soft? Well, why are y'all so angry all the time?
Because you guys are soft. We're so damn angry because you guys are soft.
Maybe if we hung out more, we could find that middle ground, like yin and yang.
We're so damn angry because you are so damn soft.
Got to balance it out, right? All the anger over here, so the softness over here.
James has a concern as a taxpayer. I don't know if this one's fair, but in a recent OD interview, Bob Davies said it costs $3,500 for every official visit. $5,000 per coach per week they're out recruiting. When you're constantly churning those scholarships, when a player comes in and they're only around for 6 or 8 months before they get frustrated and leave, that's money you're not getting back. You can't go back to the athlete and have them repay their tuition, their room and board, all those post-game burgers and Cokes. Well, look, here's the deal, James. You're feeding somebody post-game burgers and Cokes, and you have a budget.
It just goes on to the next person.
Yeah, whatever your recruiting budget is, you stay within the budget. If you're constantly recruiting, then you have to deal with your recruiting budget accordingly. I don't know that it would. I understand your point of why are we investing so much in a guy who's going to be here 6 to 8 months, and I asked Eddie that question yesterday, and I said, how much does a school have in school, in investment, in player development? Like, how do you put a dollar amount on that? I don't know that you can. How much do we have invested on a young man, and we've got him to this point, and he's gone. And yeah, I think that's fair. So Grady says, ask Matt this: who is raising this generation of wimps? Who has instilled this attitude of entitlement? I'll hang up and listen to his response from Grady. Old man Grady, man. Grady is not going to be an old man.
Grady's going to stay young.
He's going to stay young forever and want free everything for everybody, and we're going to wipe away all this college debt.
He wears flat bill hats and he carries around a skateboard.
That's right.
What's up, fellow kids?
Broke his hip.
Radical.
Rad, dude. Omar said Dak Prescott's not worth $30 million. I think if Crusher made a tremendous point, I think he made a tremendous point today. This isn't the Jerry Lewis telethon where your goal every year is to raise $1 more. When you play for the NFL's most complete franchise, you're not entitled to the new market maximum just because your contract is up next. If you think you are, go play for Cincinnati. Okay.
I've heard that take multiple times. Like, all right, y'all have fun with Andy Dalton thinking that he's going to get you past 8 and 8.
Why are you so focused on Andy Dalton?
Because he's the cheap alternative. You're not like Andy Dalton's. Teddy Bridgewater's going to want some money.
Derek Carr, Cam Newton, Teddy Bridgewater.
Like, to me,
they're gonna want money, but they'll take the 20-something you're gonna offer them.
Then move on.
Yeah,
it's pretty that simple. I think Dak Prescott's a very good quarterback, and if you paid him $28 or $35 million, you're still in a position to win at a high level. I think he's better than a Teddy Bridgewater or Andy Dalton. These fallback, cheaper options for your franchise. And in the open market,
I agree with that, by the way.
Yeah, and I think it would be fascinating to see if anyone would pay him. If he doesn't, guess what? You can go back to Dallas with his tail between his legs and be like, "Oh, I was wrong," and then you still got a really good quarterback. And to see the Dak Prescott versus Cam Newton in the open market, if Cam Newton has a clean bill of health and the foot's good, can you get a couple years out of him? I think that would be fascinating this offseason for the NFL.
Okay, it's going to be a fascinating offseason in the NFL. Because I've never, and I hate sitting here in the moment saying I've never seen this before, but honestly,
this many quarterbacks that you believe could start
impact quarterbacks, yes, impact. And Andy Dalton is in that, and Cam Newton, and Derek Carr, and Tom Brady, and Phillip Rivers, and where we're sitting with Dak Prescott, and yes, Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, people forget, well, he's a backup in New Orleans. He was the starting quarterback and was the franchise guy in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, before he, by every account, gruesomely blew out his leg in practice, right? Like, I mean, this is the injury, the non-contact injury, where everybody told us was the most disgusting they'd ever seen, right? And it took him like 2 years to come back, and he came back. By the way, they were 5-0 when he was a quarterback. Does anybody want to recall that? They were 5-0. He's on the market, and probably at the back end of his prime, but still probably in his prime. Hey, no one does home equity loans and lines of credit like Kirtland Federal Credit Union does. Home equity is that value in your home, and a home equity loan or line of credit lets you turn that value into cash or credit. So does your home need a new bathroom or kitchen or maybe just some upgrades? Check out Kirtland Federal Credit Union's home equity offerings. With Kirtland Federal Credit Union, there are zero closing costs, and that could save you thousands of dollars on your home equity loan or line of credit. It's easy to apply, and you can cash or credit, use it for anything, an upgrade, an event, any expense you might have. Stop by and see the experts at Kirtland Federal Credit Union's Home Loan Center. They're at the corner of Jefferson and Osuna. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. They are more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender, federally insured by the NCUA.
What you gotta do is give me some money, okay?
Get your share of free money. Your chance to win just by listening and texting. Listen for the national keyword at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. When you hear it, text the national keyword to 95819. And you could win $1,000. It's that easy. You're listening anyway. You love to text. And you like getting paid. We can't make it any easier than that. For complete rules and information, visit our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Free money. Free money. 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hey, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. Do not forget to buy lentils, or the lentil soup you're making for dinner will be sorely lacking. By the way, Mrs. Calloway says thanks for helping her bundle home and auto. She appreciates the extra savings, even though you kept using the word apropos incorrectly. But the main thing is, do not forget to buy, what was it? Something apropos the lentil soup. Sorry, I'll call you back.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
When Allstate agents and employees go to work every day, their number one priority is protecting what matters most to you. For military veterans, that instinct to protect also comes naturally. No wonder thousands of veterans build good careers with Allstate. And now, Allstate is ranked the number one employer on the 2020 Military Friendly Employers list. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For career opportunities or to get a quote, contact Allstate today. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
If you have kids or pets, sooner or later you'll need new carpet. And right now, the Home Depot has you covered. With an unbeatable selection of carpet that walks the walk, in-store, or even easier, online. Durable and
I don't think anyone was ready for that.
life-proof. And right now, installed for free. It's a good time to be a doer, thanks to free carpet installation at the Home Depot.
And instead of storming these beaches and killing these Koreans, they play Call of
tomorrow here on your radio on the Sports Animal 1:30. Josh Sushan, Nikki Heckroth, Lobato live from Albertsons Radio Row at Dreamstyle Arena. The Pit, Lobo Men's Sunday afternoon from the former Taco Bell Arena. Now it's One Something Arena. What is it? You know, when you were up in Idaho.
Extra Mile.
There you go. When you were in Boise, when you saw it. Remember that time when you were up there?
Building.
Yeah.
Stepped out of this studio.
Extra Mile Arena in Boise. 2 o'clock tomorrow is the tip-off over on News Radio 96.3 KKOB. Jeff, JJ, it's Micah, and it's Josh. Josh is headed over to swimming and diving. We got state swimming and diving. You guys doing state wrestling too? Is that going on now?
They went with different.
Oh, you don't get that? All right, never mind. That's not really happening.
They got things at every mat.
Every mat. Yeah, the microphone helps when you want to do that.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it makes way better radio.
Yeah, no.
Booming voice.
Sometimes I forget, you know.
Yeah, it's
like a ghost in the background.
No, it's just like this guy talking back there. All right, so you guys will have swimming and diving over on the ProView?
On right now. Yeah. Jason's out there doing it. Diving prelims, boys and girls.
So Adam's calling swimming and diving?
Nope.
Oh, what a great
Andrea
corkscrew.
Campbell from Albuquerque Academy.
All right.
She does a great
Do they
job.
have a belly flop competition?
They should.
Don't you think that'd be cool? Like with all the great swimming and diving and oh, there's a double pike spin, right? So they just have like the big dudes just going out. Oh, that
was a 250-pound monster.
That's right. Oh, look at that splash. Because they're like, in the real dives, you want the least amount of splash, right? Because you enter the water directly. The biggest splash.
Yep.
How could they not have that? That could make a lot more of us athletes.
Might have to send just a comment card over there.
Right?
There you go.
Here, why don't you add this competition?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to see that? Because that would be more inclusive, and you'd be able to have more students be athletes for free. Right?
Seems painful.
Yeah. Put on a shirt.
You really have to be invested in that.
Put a little salve or the balm and oh well here comes Josh the Torpedo Brown. Weighs in at whatever he weighs in at. Now he's known for having incredible pain tolerance, and so if you'll notice he hits he's exactly parallel with the water, which makes for the largest possible. Oh, that hurt. Oh, he's going to feel that one. Well, I think Josh kind of led. We're going to deduct 0.3 of a point because he led with his face. Oh, yeah. Look at his beak. He's got a burn on his beak. Yeah, you can see he led with his face. Cheeks are really red. Yeah.
Deduction for not full horizontal impact.
Right. Yeah, boom. Yes. Oh, no, the feet hit first. Oh, no, I think his face hit first.
I think we've got something going here.
Yes, we could do it up at Lance's Pond. Have a little Lance-a-palooza. What do you think up there?
Nice segue, Jeff.
That's what I do. What's up?
It's going to be a Lance-a-palooza out here.
That's right. You could actually
I knew you were going to put me on right after
well,
you
now
said that.
we got a sport for you
First of all, it's me and young guy, nice old guy with you guys.
Me and young guy, nice old guy. That's right. We got a sport for you to participate in.
I can hardly keep it together after that.
Oh, that's something
You know what I learned today, though? What does a Coke machine and Altuve have in common? Edward! There's no material without the Patriots. He's imploding from within. But, Micah, he's late for the tryouts for the Gladiators. I mean, he only works 3 hours a day. He needs, get a side job.
Gladiator tryouts are going on right now, by the way.
I'm going to go for the belly flop
Just
instead.
put it out there quick. You guys can cover.
Belly flop.
And I was thinking of the Olympic hockey win versus Russia. I was working at the quarters, I was really young, and we had the grill on, everything ready to go, all the meat, all the brisket and the pork and everything. And Connie, the owner, comes back. He's a Greek guy, but he's from here. And okay, I'm locking the doors. He goes, keep the grill on. He goes, we're going to watch the USA kick the Russians' butt, and everybody gets to party on the house for free. I'm locking the doors, and he put an old-fashioned "we're closed" sign out. People were knocking on the door, and we sat there and watched that hockey game. It's like, JJ wasn't even a dirty thought yet.
Yeah, but you just think of us bitter old guys, man. That's it's still, and I can't believe it's 40 years old, 40 years this weekend. Us old guys, that's still my favorite sports of my lifetime.
Me too.
And that wasn't even for the gold medal game, and I even knew going in, I knew the result, and it was still my favorite. It was on tape delay, and it was still that, and the Kirk Gibson home run is number 2 for me.
You know what? Right there, well, the first one you got right, and of course Elway flipping over and
you got your
getting
thing.
the first down. You know, which by the way, a quarterback ain't going to make or break a team. I think Dallas should keep Dak Prescott. Just go for it. I mean, he's already experienced and stuff. And I do want JJ to answer a question after. You know, as I'm getting ready for Lancer-Palooza, you know, that edition, the late winter transition edition, I have to dig a new pit, I found out, for the next pig. So it's already started, and, you know, drinking out there already in the cold. But the Nuggets transition, you got so much sports going on, it's hard to talk about everything. But the Nuggets during the trade, I heard that they made out really good. And, you know, hey, I know it's hard to do everything, but if you can, JJ, you're so good at knowing everything and just looking stuff up, even if you have to. Give me an idea why they made out good in the trade. I have no idea.
All right, Lance,
I don't get to cover it.
Yeah, no, I'm
so
going to have it.
If you could, my friend, or my little nephew, because I'm drunk uncle, and I've rubbed off on him, obviously, with how he's been, you know, treating people here, and you.
All right, he's going to address it, Lance. Enjoy the weekend.
Try to hook me up, man. We'll see you. Have a good weekend, guys.
Later. All right, address the Nuggets trade deadline.
Well, the Nuggets actually didn't do anything impactful during the trade deadline. They traded Juan Hernan-Gomez and Malik Beasley to Minnesota. Some bench players, they filled that with Noah Vonleh. It was really about acquiring a first-round pick from Houston because they knew they weren't going to get anything if Hernan-Gomez and Beasley left after the season. And really all they did was get healthy. Mason Plumlee and Michael Porter Jr. are back in the lineup tonight. Will Barton should be back this weekend, so it was just getting their players back as opposed to acquiring anything at trade deadline.
Lancer is the answer, says Bad Street. Jeff, that was a gold medal call. I don't know, Josh, can we get ProView up to the Lance Castle and have the state belly flop championships into his pond? Tell me that wouldn't be something. Probably couldn't be high school. We could, you know what? Get off the high school thing now.
That'd be
Let's
a
just make it
event.
Yeah. Make it like a professional event, and the winner gets $1. And a 12-pack, right?
Well, Lance is going maybe a 10-pack.
Yeah, all right, that's fair enough. So for something like that, would it be New Mexico New Mexico beers, or would it be Coors Light?
Ooh, I think we can get some of the micro brews.
Yeah, but what would they want? What would the people who are belly flopping want?
I would say a nice 6-pack of strong IPA.
Ooh, there you go.
After doing the belly flops.
Yeah, a little Tractor Red.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a nice one.
Like
all right,
the Desert Fog.
See, everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. All right, a thorough sweep. My email says, JJ. This is from Joseph. A thorough. THOROUGH, thorough sweep. Anyone who pushes back on Aggie fans who contact the opening drive with their anti-Lobo takes is a friend of mine. Someone needs to check them. NMSU is not the best basketball team in New Mexico. Again, the UNM men's team, despite their self-destruction, defeated our arch rivals in both Albuquerque and Las Cruces. The same for the UNM women's team, who did so in the pit in all-time record-setting fashion. Defeated them in football. Also, some national pundits have called the Aggie program the worst in the history of college football. For those keeping score, that's 5-0, better known as a thorough sweep with a 4-foot-wide custodian's broom, Joseph. Bam. See, there you go, Lobo fan. You need something to feel better about. You got Joseph, the happy old man. Then he sent me this one. Then he sent this one.
And then another one.
This one, I think both came in at the exact same time. He's tired of losing. A UNM basketball team should never come out flat in front of a pit crowd. So this is right the same guy who just wrote you how great it was to sweep the Aggies. It says, I'm tired of losing, Jeff. A UNM team should never come out flat in front of a pit crowd. It should be a privilege for the players to perform in front of one of the most dedicated and loudest fan bases in college basketball. Throw in a free education and maybe some UNM student athletes are taking for granted what they have. The flip side of fan criticism is that at least Lobo fan cares. The alternative is indifference. For those players who are unhappy here, maybe they should turn their attention to Tulane, voted the #1 party school in America for 2020. Or should their desire be to play in front of mostly empty seats, I would recommend San Jose State. Both basketball programs have had enough drama this season, with probably more to come. As for the fans, we are just tired of losing. But Joseph, you swept the Aggies. Huh? A thorough sweep of the Aggies. JJ Buck. You got a compliment today.
I'll take it.
Yes. All right, we got to take a break, and we'll come back, and I got a bunch more. We got time for your calls. Where have we been today? DAC, NFL collective bargaining, and one free transfer for college athletes. That's really kind of been where we are. Oh, and Mike Fiers. Big Poppy calling Mike Fiers a snitch. And JJ asked a great question in the first segment.
If Mike Fiers was a different generation, he wouldn't be snitching on people.
You think that's right? That's probably right. You damn soft millennials. You can turn on your own now, too. Hey, this happens way too much. Don't let it happen to you. Call IPS. Business owners go home at night, lock up their shop, their store, their office, and they get a call in the middle of the night, or they show up in the morning and they've been victimized by a break-in. And it takes a long time to recover. Do not let this happen to you. Call IPS. International Protective Service, a security company who provides highly trained armed guards to watch your business. You can go full-time guard, or they'll patrol your business. Keep the bad guys away. And if your alarm happens to go off, IPS responds with armed, trained security officers within 5 to 7 minutes. The police, it takes up to hours to show up. They write up a report. The bad guys are long gone, and it's way too late. Bad guys don't care about what you've built. They just want to steal something. Put IPS to work for you. They care about your business. Make sure you're not an easy target. IPS's job is to stop the break-in before it happens. IPS also protects your home while you're at work, while you're at dinner, while you're on vacation, while you're home. Need peace of mind? IPS will deliver it for you. IPS, 505-897-2420. Call them. 505-897-2420, or go to ipsglobal.com.
The Sports Bar with Michael and Mike.
I think the favorite.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled. You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the. Behind the back of the dribble. Trying to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And Hotnet sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku! Oh! Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous. Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one.
Conversation yesterday, other people's
Cover
pain is
green
funny.
stuff, one scoop is not
That's
enough.
not
Find a booth is real tough.
BYU pole vaulter. JJ just showed me a story. Read me the headline again, just so I get it.
The headline: BYU pole vaulter suffers gruesome injury during practice in freak accident.
All right, and I pole vaulted back in high school, and so you told me what happened, and I'm like, how could it even happen? So what happened?
Well,
because I couldn't even fathom it.
A BYU pole vaulter pierced his scrotum in practice on Monday, requiring him to get 18 stitches to fix the injury.
So I'm
Zach
like,
McWhorter,
how
a
did-
20-year-old student athlete, posted a edited video on TikTok where he revealed it to be minor, but still enough to make one squirm. I don't think that's a minor injury.
18 stitches to one's scrotum does not sound to. I mean, define minor.
That's major.
It's minor when it happens to someone else.
He's trying to downplay it.
Petition NCAA for next year of eligibility.
Girls, I'm fine. That's fine.
When that happens to you, is that minor? That's a major injury.
It's BYU. It doesn't happen there.
Yeah, that's right.
My bad. I forgot.
That's
I forgot what school you were talking about.
So I asked you how, like, I pole vaulted. How does that even happen? Like, I couldn't. So he went up and over the bar, and it was a clean vault. And typically, when you go up and over, you push the pole away. The pole almost always falls, and we're getting into pole vaulting semantics, but the pole almost always.
Everyone else understands how it happens, but for someone that knows the correct procedure,
Right. I'm like, how can this even happen? So typically you push the pole away and the pole falls to the ground, not into the pit, not where you land. Well, he didn't push it. So the pole with the momentum continued to go forward. So he went up and over, and as he was descending, the pole was also descending. The pole was at about a 30-degree angle kind of. And as he came down feet first, it caught him. I mean, good God. Yeah, and as someone who pole vaulted in high school, I'm like, how can it even happen? And then you look at it and like, oh, no, that's not supposed to happen.
it happens. You'd expect it to happen.
Why would I? I had no idea.
If you don't know the correct procedure.
Yeah. I'm like, how can that even be? How do you pierce yourself with your pole? When you told me, I'm like, was it the standard? Like, did he not have enough momentum and fell off to the side? And the standards that hold the bar up, did he fall into that and get pierced by one of the pegs that hold up the bar? I'm like, what could pierce him?
The pole.
Oh my Lord.
Very dangerous.
Athletics are dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
If you suffered from a sports injury, sprained your ankle, blew out your knee,
At
maybe
point
got
in time,
concussed.
for the love of God, could I have just torn my ACL?
Right? You want to tear your ACL or your scrotum? Yes.
Could I just be done for the season?
Oh, I'm gonna guess that hurt a lot.
And the way the video's edited on TikTok too.
It just happens and happens.
Here's the end.
Yeah, no, you've got
no video.
Is that it right there?
That's where the pole landed.
That's People Magazine now.
That's People Magazine.
Yeah, what do you got People Magazine on? So that's him like a millisecond before,
right before impact,
impaling himself on his pole. So see how it's going. The mountains look pretty.
Yeah, it looks great backdrop.
Yeah, he's got no shirt on. It looks like a beautiful day in Provo. right.
The video just goes back and forth.
Have you watched it?
Boom,
yes.
boom. I'm like, oh, no.
It's not right. There's nothing about it that's right.
You cannot unsee that. Oh, man.
We all feel for you.
Poor guy.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace with your 18 stitches. I mean, how many... and the whole description of it makes me uncomfortable. All right. Joseph sent me another one, by the way. I can't read another one from him.
He also...
You guys got to stop looking at it.
He also made sure to remind pole vaulters never wear shorts without spandex. And always put a cap on the top of your pole.
He didn't have a cap on his pole? So...
What does that even mean?
Well, there's like a little plug that you put on the... So they're fiberglass poles, right? So they're hollow poles. And you put a plug on the bottom end where you put it into the pit or into the box. But you always... Like, to have it open on the... I don't know that would have helped. It still would have... Well, maybe it would have if it was open so it could rip more. And with the spandex of prevented... I mean, I guess it's one more layer.
I don't know.
Good Lord. One thing I never in my life fathomed that I would... There it is. Oh! One thing I never thought I would be... Even when I vaulted, like, I never, ever... Like, you think about all kinds of... I hurt myself pole vaulting. I had some injuries and whatever, but... Oh, Marty, help us. No, provide some sanity. Hello, Marty.
Good morning, short week. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. Feel like forever.
This is one of these what-if calls.
Goodness gracious.
Did you guys
What if
watch,
you fell on your pole?
Arizona State, Oregon last
We did,
night?
yeah.
Pretty interesting. You can keep Bill Walton and Frank Caliendo from...
God bless it. I don't even know how I missed Caliendo.
Gosh.
I love
Has
him.
Bill Walton done a Lobo broadcast?
He has done one. Yeah, he did one. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Yeah, he was in the
He
pit.
didn't do
He
one.
absolutely
he
was.
hasn't done one this year, current.
They played Colorado
I'm
in the pit.
watching Anthony Mathis. Looks like his playing time has been cut in half.
It is decreased.
His role is really diminished.
Correct.
But second game of the year, they played Boise State.
Okay.
You know what he did?
26
He was
that
10
night?
of 12,
Yeah.
3-point line. He had 30 points.
30, yeah.
And they beat Boise State by 30.
Okay.
Who do we play tomorrow?
You played Boise State on Sunday. Yeah.
I know what if.
Well, I thought about what if when I was sitting at the game the other day. What if Anthony Mathis was on this team, and it would have been just one more piece. And I mean, I told you when he left, there's no way you can convince me you're better without having one of the premier shooters in the country. But it would have been. Have you given it any thought? What if he was on this team? What would this team have looked like to have that shooter? I mean, you're better. You still would be without Bragg and Caldwell, and still have the Lyle issues. But yeah, what if you'd be a little better?
He won 3 games by himself, as I recall, on last year's team. A bank shot and a couple other.
Well, he hit winners. Yeah, he hit the winner at
Winners,
Northridge, and I mean, I wouldn't say he won the game by himself, but he hit the winners. Yeah.
And this final thought: give me your prediction for the fight, Wilder and Fury.
All right. Who do you like? Yeah. Thanks, Marty. Who do you like? You like Wilder or Fury? I'm on Fury.
Wilder.
Okay. I like that we're disagreeing on everything.
Fury.
You're on Fury? Who you like?
I like Wilder.
You like Wilder? 2 Furies, 2 Wilders. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Split decision. Run it back.
Ding, 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 ding.
Round 3.
Run it again.
The grudge match, the rubber match.
All right. I like, the thing that concerns me about Fury is he's already thinking about retiring. He's got 3 fights left with ESPN on his contract, and he's already been talking about what happens when it's over. And so it concerns me a little that he's looking at the end.
Diet Coke life.
Right.
I mean,
I would drink like 40 Diet Cokes.
People live that life,
Usually that like 3.
Yeah. Las Vegas is yet to set odds for Sunday's UNM Boise State game. It's probably going to be another game with UNM getting run out of the gym by 20 plus, the occurrence of which is to be close to, if not a school season record. That'd be an interesting one to look at. Add to that the 4th worst loss in the history of the Pit a couple of weeks ago versus San Diego State, where the Lobos were down at one time by 35 and had the potential to be the worst loss in the 54th season of the building. Lobo players have continued to get costly technical fouls, which is the sign of a highly undisciplined team being overseen by a group of young and inexperienced coaches. The nightmare can't continue. Possibly, Eddie Nunez can renegotiate a contract for the next 3 years with Dr. Weir to make him the highest-paid professor at UNM. That also is from Joseph, but Joseph, you swept the Aggies. He sent me 3 within a minute.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. He's been authoring, spending some time authoring. Jack says, belly flop finals, Jeff. It could be sponsored by the New Mexico Bowl. Since we excel at these things, co-sponsors could be an overpriced coffee shop, a pizza place, and a local brewery. And as a degree of difficulty bonus, if one belly flopper crashes into another, they will receive the Art Award. What if we did pole vaulting into the lake, belly flop, like landing on with a belly flop?
We're on to something now.
I don't know if
no piercing.
The people doing the belly flop would have that body strength to do the pole vault.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a lot of upper body and core strength to pole vault. Well, that's fair.
I couldn't do it.
And speed. No, it's speed to be able to get up in the air. It's core strength to get upside down, and it's upper body to finish. It'd be fun to watch, though. What if you had an elevated platform? So they just have to swing on the pole, enough momentum to get to launch, and then get their body in a position to belly flop, and then be judged, and then they get a beer.
Of course.
You know what? At our birthday bash this summer, we should have a belly flop competition. Honestly.
Definitely.
It would be spectacular. You're not into that? Come on.
I'm sure we could find a mobile.
What if we just did it for millennials?
Just from now, man.
It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. This coming August, Major League Baseball will recreate the Field of Dreams diamond in Dyersville, Iowa for a game between the Yankees and White Sox. However, at the same time, Major League Baseball...
I just hate the...
did. Hey, you got a good fight over the weekend. Our friends over at Babe and Dusters. Didn't he invite us over? Hey, if you guys need anything, you want to come to the fight, call me. Gotta call our guy. Opening drive, Jeff, even the ProView guy's hoe has really improved. What a hoe today. That's from Bourne. Good work on your hoe today, ProView guy.
I did.
Yeah, it's a nice ProView guy. Dan says, what a concept, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Micah John. The Lady Lobos and men play on different days for the rest of the season. What a concept. What? It allows fans to watch both clubs. Now you can get doubly angry. What? Everybody's so angry. Yeah. Can we have somebody that wins? I'm not talking about finishing 10th in an 18-team division and getting into the playoffs on the last day of the season because somebody else lost. Can we have someone who wins?
New Mexico State can clinch an outright regular season whack.
Bam!
Tomorrow with a victory.
Can we all get behind that? With a 16th straight victory tomorrow, New Mexico State can clinch another WAC championship. Can we get behind that? Nope. That'd be good, though. All right, can we get behind something? I'm just asking. This is from Dean on the Lobos, just tossing an interesting article in the Casper, Wyoming Star Tribune on Alan Edwards' coaching status. One of his answers was, no disrespect to Wyoming, but this isn't a win right away like San Diego State, UNLV, or New Mexico. Just a teaser. If Edwards is let go, how about Jans to Laramie? Do you think Chris would go to Laramie? Now, I know that there's some interest up there. You know what I'm hearing is Tim Miles to Laramie.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of Tim Miles going up there. The former Colorado State coach who had a lot of success at Colorado State, played it into a big payday at Nebraska, was let go at Nebraska, but I'm hearing a lot of that. I know that there has been I'm not telling you I think there's been any contact made. I know there's some interest in Jans at Wyoming. They could pay him more because they seem to be able to pay more. I don't know that that's the job that Jans would go to. Do you?
No, and the base is $200,000 incentives. It puts them up to about $490 a year.
In New Mexico State. Oh, on Edwards. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just don't see that being the job, but I could see Alan Edwards being done after this season. Now, it's not a win now place like San Diego State, UNLV, or New Mexico, but they're going to be 1-17 in conference, right?
Yeah.
I mean, win sometimes would be okay, right?
Win occasionally.
They've got a couple of good players, and then they've got a couple of really not good players. Like they've got Maldonado's good. It's funny how they turn out a Nance or a Justin James, right?
Mm-hmm. Had an NBA player last year.
Yeah.
And James and Maldonado's nice. Hunter Thompson hasn't played the last
Thompson's
few games.
Been hurt.
They're
yeah.
6'10" forward.
Yeah, they got two good players. Yeah. And after that, they don't have a lot. And it's not, it's a tough place. It is. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails have been coming in this morning, and they've been good, man. Joseph said, it was your buddy Ted Leitner who once said, I'm heading to the pit in Albuquerque. Angry people there, and they're not young either. That was one of the things that was brought up to Eddie Nunez yesterday at the rectangle table about the fan base and the age of them. And Eddie said, "I'm not going to chase away the older people. Their checks cash. Their money.
Money spins the same.
We're trying to attract a younger crowd." And he says, I see some of the older people bringing their kids or their grandkids, and but what do you want me to do? Chase them away? Not take their ticket money? Like their ticket money's good. But there's a lot of reasons if you look across the country at declining attendance and concerns and all of those things. As I sat there and listened to all the issues and Eddie talked about, we've talked to these people about this and we've talked to them and we've talked to them. We've talked to the public safety people and the mayor and we've talked to the governor and we've talked to the legislatures. And dude, there's a lot of talking. Like when you're the AD there,
a lot of talking.
There's a lot of issues. And then you start bringing up the manufactured issues like the discipline within your programs and the legal issues. And Eddie was asked, Lee Faria asked him, do you feel you handled the Carlton Bragg situation and J.J. Caldwell stuff right? And he says, yeah, I do. It's about, it's a privilege, not a right to play basketball at the University of New Mexico. And it's about representing the institution. And there was a lot in there. So to Grady and JJ, says Matt, you're right. My email was probably a little too frustrated and angry. It's not only about this transfer issue. This was the guy who came in. Yeah. It's a culmination of issues. It's always something. Every time we turn around, these poor damn college athletes just struggle to survive. 2 years ago, they were all starving to death. Now they're having to sit out a year. Where they get to live, go to school, eat for free, get some cash, and throw house parties, by the way. And it's all just too much. But you rarely hear from most athletes who are getting what they're getting in return, that piece of paper that can potentially, alter the course of their life for better, a chance to start their life as an adult, unburdened by student debt. I'm just irritated with the attitude that what has worked for decades is now untenable despite the impact it might have on the game. And so to JJ's point about our youth working to make the world better in whatever capacity, military in their local community or any other, he's absolutely right, and I applaud them. Comically, I'm not some angry old man. I'm 36-year-old father of 2 young sons. I'm far from perfect. But I do work hard to appreciate the amazing opportunities we are all provided in this country to make our lives better. To Grady, I agree. Some blame rests at the feet of the parents, raising children in a world of instant gratification. As I said previously, I think we all want to make our kids and the younger generation's lives better. But in some cases, this comes with consequences. As everyone knows, when things come free and easy, we just don't appreciate them as much. It's a difficult issue to balance. Who knows how this might impact college basketball? We can prognosticate, but we don't know. Aside from that, I guess I just get irritated when it's like, well, there's another way this situation is unfair. Unfair is the 9-year-old disabled boy going viral on the internet because he's bullied every day and is suicidal. Perspective is everything. It's from Matt. So, Grady, you said you'll sit back and listen, and there it was. And
absolutely.
Matt,
and I
that's
appreciate
a great
Matt's
response.
conversation.
Yeah.
And yes, it's easy to get caught up in pointing fingers and stereotypes of a generation. And I think it's fair, but I
1 minute.
think you have to acknowledge, even in a system where you're getting a quote-unquote free education, that they are...
Quote-unquote, you are getting a free education.
Word salad. Even in a system where you're getting a free education, you're bringing in millions of dollars that a student athlete, maybe they get extra benefits a regular student does. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. All right, that's boy, there's so much there, but we're out of time. Josh, enjoy your weekend at
30.
Diving in Silver City. Micah, another week that you've gotten better.
And Matt,
progressed.
Great conversation today. Thank you for listening to the show. And good luck with the kids this weekend.
Yeah, enjoy them. All right, have fun this weekend. Yeah. Kids
dunking a basketball.
Kids dunking
now.
a basketball, hanging
Watch
on the
out.
rim.
15.
Hanging on the rim.
Hey, we're an NBA house, so Euro step, hanging on the rim a little bit. We're not going to tee you up.
Good.
Not going to tee you up.
Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll talk to you on Monday.